2 or 3 new animes per season.
Yeah.
Just because, CSU is getting more and more busy.
Yeah.
So right now I've pretty much been keeping up with Reincarnate Another Word as a Slime.
Yeah. Is that still going?
Yeah, it's a 24 one, and I was like, yes!
Oh no. Okay, I gotta catch up to it.
I was so happy when I found out it was 24 episodes, because it was they were getting up to the point where there was like this big fight. There's gonna be like this army clash. I'm like, shit, man, this is gonna be a horrible cliffhanger to end that. And it's like, it will go.
I'm like, it's gonna be like all the seasons of Overlord all over again.
Yeah.
Where they end at like the escalation, like just climbing up.
Yeah.
The thing just escalating, yeah.
Oh,
But what were you saying?
Yeah, I was gonna be like, nah, I can't survive another tease like that. Overlord's already done this for 3 seasons already.
Yeah.
And it's literally left me dry.
I know this stuff. I actually forgot it was the new year because of all like the other non-anime stuff I've been watching.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know if you've heard of Young Justice.
Yeah.
But the new 3rd season came out, and I'm like, God damn it! Now I have to keep up with that show. But I want to keep up with anime because Mob Psycho 100.
Got a 2nd season.
Yeah, is either out already or going to come out. I know like Crunchyroll is gonna have like a Fathom event, and I'm like, I am not gonna pay $17 to go see one episode. I'm pretty sure they would have done like a Ruby thing where they like probably put the last few episodes behind that and then play the new episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like we have that. I know there's a few other stuff. I'd have to go through the list to see what was coming out. But
Tale of the Shield Hero. That one actually got a pre-air this week.
Fuck. Is that out already?
Yeah, no, it's not out. They just pre-aired it, so they showed it, but without the opening or the ending song. So like, it's a 45-minute special right now.
Oh, okay. So next week the actual airing's gonna happen, or?
I believe so. I think it was gonna be like the 9th or 10th of July, January, July.
9th or 10th.
Oh, January. That's gonna be premiering.
Oh, that's like next week.
But like they did a pre-air this week, and I looked at it, dude. Those 45. Let me just tell you, those 45 minutes just felt like 15. It was that engaging.
I'm gonna watch. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. Also, it's like the same team as Made in the Abyss and the same composer. So
Yep.
I'm like, yeah, I automatically have to watch this.
Dude, it was pretty well animated, man. And then, from what I remember, because I did pick it up reading when I forgot who was it. Was it Noble or the Anime Man who recommended it a while back? But I remember when I read it and I was watching this, I was like, damn, this is giving me the exact same like frustration as it did when I read this.
You're like, I can't keep doing it. Next, I'm still not in like next week if we do a show, because when do you start school?
20th.
Oh, okay, so we have a week or two.
Either way, I do nothing on Fridays.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, me neither. I'm gonna start my winter classes, so we'll see how that affects my work. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, next week I'm really debating because this show's funny, but it goes places. So I don't know if I should balance it with picking a fun show or just keep it going by recommending a 3-volume manga that I read that is a super downer.
Oh.
But it's a Nisio Isin. It's called Imperfect Girl.
Oh, I don't think I heard of that one.
Yeah, Aki recommended it, and it's a story. I think it's fake. I think it's made up. It's like a self-insert story. Mm-hmm. But it's a story that Nisio Isin is claiming is an experience that happened to him that turned him into a writer. And it's like a little girl, he got, this is where like the did this happen come in? Mm. He got held prisoner by like a grade school girl.
Oh, okay, I see. I can see.
Yeah.
Well, it is Japan.
Yeah, I'm like, I can understand like a 20-year-old, this happening to a 20-year-old guy, because some Japanese men are very, they're very like pacifists, and the girl was like 10, and some girls can be very
crafty.
Yeah, they can be very crafty at that age.
But like, I'm feeling, if anything, it's not that it's not completely true, more that he's just blowing it out of proportion, if anything.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what's going on. Maybe it's like, he got stuck in a situation where it's like, fuck, I'm being extorted.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, this can make a great plot.
Yeah, and that's almost exactly you've already read the manga because he brings that up multiple times in the story. Like this would make a good thriller. but yeah, I'm thinking of that because it's like okay, it's just 3 volumes and it's a really fast and easy read.
Why don't I just cut out the middleman and give you a suggestion? Why don't we just do Osmosis Jones?
I'm already technically doing it. And unlike Osmosis Jones, this one doesn't take creative liberties. If you guys did that, this entire body would be in danger. And like even well anyway guys, welcome back to the return of Animazing, a show that just like Attack on Titan is coming back from a hiatus this year. I didn't know that Attack on Titan went on hiatus and then they're bringing it back in April.
Oh, I don't know either.
I don't think a lot of people are keeping up with that show anymore.
No, I've just been too busy to keep up with it. The wait was too long.
I'm too busy obsessing over other shows that are taking equally as long to come out now. I remember when Attack on Titan first came out, and I'm all like, oh my god, I can't wait a week. But now that I'm deep into other shows and deep into other anime, I'm just like, yeah, this is. I could wait. It.
And I think this is pretty much when we discussed it. Like, what brought us to anime is like Attack on Titan. If anything, is like one of those shows that like got you into the community and everything. Yeah. And then once you started exploring other shit in those 2 years that it took to like get the season 2, you're like, sorry, Attack on Titan, I'm seeing other shows now.
Yeah,
you were a great first anime though.
Yeah, they broke you into the world, and then you're just like you started experimenting and seeing other animes, and you're realizing Attack on Titan just doesn't give you that urge anymore.
I know.
Even though I don't feel really comfortable saying it about this show because this show has a lot, and I mean a lot of fucking lollies in it. At least I know that my scabs are cute little kids, are being built by cute little kids.
Well, I better keep you away from my hand.
I have a bunch, man, like...
Well, these are all from New Year's, that's why.
What the hell happened on New Year's? Wait, you did say at one point you were, like, sleeping off. Did you get super drunk on New Year's?
Yeah, well, the trouble happened once 12 o'clock struck. Because we were keeping it light and everything. My cousins were like, we're just going to take quarter shots each just so we can last till 12 o'clock. And then once 12 p.m. comes, two bottles of tequila later, we're like, oh shit. It's like, I was looking because we had 2 bottles of tequila and the vodka that my friend brought, but he had to go. So like the whole bottle was full. So once we finished the 2 bottles of tequila, I was like looking at that bottle, I was like, damn. I don't know if it's the stupor, but I'm kind of down to finish this.
Oh no.
And my dad's like, nah, I think you've had enough for tonight. I was like, yeah, you're right, I'll just stick to the wine.
Yeah.
And I decided to down 2 glasses of wine.
Oh no, that's even worse.
Exactly, that was the worst part because I've never been red wine drunk before.
Yeah. Oh no, man.
But hey, at least I figured out what kind of red wine drunk I am.
The crazy one?
Yeah, apparently I like to go ham when it comes to dancing.
Oh no.
Because that's how I fell.
That's my brother, yeah. My brother goes ham. Well, my brother, it's like he has levels. He'll be like goofy tipsy, but then when he's like middling drunk, he'll be very sociable and dancing. And then when he's smashed, he gets really emotional.
Damn.
Yeah, I still haven't drinking enough to figure out what drunk I am. I just know that I can't handle shit.
I just blame my friend for my high levels of tolerance. Because when we were drinking, my cousin's already getting there by the time it was 12 o'clock. He's like, Luis, you don't even look like it's hitting you at all. I was like, oh, what do you mean? I feel tipsy already. It's like, you don't look it though.
You get up and you just fall down. I'm just gonna sit here for a minute. Man, yeah, that actually... I mean, it wasn't alcohol, but my brother gave me like an edible. And that shit hit me hard. Like, he gave it to me like at 8. And then I'm like, I don't feel anything, even to the point where I kind of forgot that I even took it. And then by 11, I'm like, why am I so tired? Why can't I move properly? And I'm like, oh no, I'm high. And I'm just like, I was about to, everywhere that was mildly comfortable, I was about to fall asleep. And I'm taking a shower. The warm water's putting me to sleep. And I would have had the best night's sleep ever if it wasn't for the fact I had to force myself to wake up like at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh.
Because I had to go to work like at 8. And I'm like, God, why did I take that extra shift?
No, man. All of my experiences with edibles were always bad.
Yeah, no, I was so high when I went to my work. So I'm like, never again, I ain't fucking with this shit anymore.
No, for me, it's just like every time my friend gave me an edible, he always made me drink as well, so he always got me cross-faded.
No.
And those are the only times those are the only times I've ever passed out.
Oh my god, that is.
That's why for me, it's like that's like my friends like, what, you don't like it? It's like, no man, every time you give me this shit, you always make me drink as well.
Yeah.
And you know how easily influenced I am in that state.
It's one thing or another, damn it. Pick one. Do you want me to get high as fuck or do you want me to get smashed? I want you to get both.
Yeah, I was pretty much his guinea pig.
That's awful. But anyway, in the return of this show, we do remember that Ben's pick? Fuck, was the last show Asobi Asabase?
Yeah, I believe
Oh
so.
my god.
It was a long while.
It was a while. God, I want to say October. I think it was October. Oh my god, yeah. Oh fuck, yeah. Yeah, it was because the week, it was October, it was the week of my birthday, and I had to get a new driver's license, so oh my god, yeah, it was. Holy shit, I didn't think it was that long ago. It's almost been a year, it's almost been like 2 months. God damn it. Anyway, we are fixing that with Lewis's pick, a show that I was literally about to finish the week of, and then when we found out, oh wait, I won't be able to do the shows for a long time, I put it on hold. And I had a good 5 days to do it, but then I put it on hold to watch other shit. Very irresponsible of me.
Don't worry, Danny. That was me for like the rest of the shows we've done in this podcast.
That was true. That happened to you when we were. I still think you did that on purpose, but that did happen to you when we did Neo Yokio. You didn't finish that show.
Okay, well that was the only exception because that one I legit was just like, damn, I'm not enjoying this at all.
Yeah.
It was like funny for like the first 1 or 2 minutes, but then after a while I just got to. I was like,
Yeah, it's funny because it's like, when I watched the Seven Deadly Sins movie. My Netflix immediately was like, now playing Neo Yokio Christmas special, and I'm like, oh, I should watch this. 5 minutes into it, I'm like, okay, how long is this? An hour. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do this. I need to do so. I will do it when I'm in the mood. I am not going to sit through an hour of this. Which is funny because I think the first show was like 4 episodes, and I technically sat through 2 hours of that.
yeah, man.
No,
I tried to, but I was like, I think it was like episode 3 or 4. I was like, oh my god, this is torture.
One of us lost a bet. I forgot why. One of us lost a bet. I lost a bet against a friend, and you guys had to suffer with me.
Oh, why?
Me and my friend made a bet on, we made a bet like on, I think it was Kingdom Hearts. It was like, we're gonna get the release trailer this month. We didn't get that release trailer, and he's like, now for that you have to watch Neo Yokio. No, he said you have to watch the worst anime you can think of, and no cheating. And I'm like,
shit.
Neo Yokio. He's like, yeah, you have to watch Neo Yokio.
Shit.
I know, and I'm like, oh my god, no. Ben sat through it, and I don't even think Ben fully forgave me. Maybe that's why he hasn't replied to any of my messages about recording.
You scared him away.
It's funny because we still did like 6 other shows after that. 10, 13 other shows after that. I think it just finally got to him. Anyway, guys, yes, we are talking about Lewis's pick, Cells at Work. What's the Japanese name?
Hataraku Saibo.
There we go. Yes, which is basically, elephant in the room. It is the Osmosis Gym anime.
Yeah.
It's too catchy.
You want me to put it in my tablet? I have a loudspeaker. I got a new tablet now.
Oh, if you want.
My butt?
That's what you get for bouncing.
No, that's not from the New Year's. That's from exercising.
Anyway, to avoid any dead air, this is a David production anime, so that should be fun. And at least it's not one of those animes that feed on the meme where it's just like, oh, David Production made a new anime. What the fuck is JoJo Part 5?
Alright, here we go.
Oh my god, it's fucking loud. We are
The best part about it is that all the VAs are singing their own parts.
Yeah. Except for that weird opening. flip the lyrics?
Yeah, that's because that was the macrophage and the T-cell simulator.
Oh,
That's what it was. Yeah, because this is the white blood cell simulator.
really look up these. Oh my god, that Colin episode was like, oh, this makes horrific sense. I still don't get that if he's naive. If he's fully formed, why do they still have him as naive?
Because it's still a naive T-cell. Dr. Hope explained that.
Oh, I gotta watch this. I apologize for the sound, people. It will be edited.
NK was best cell though.
What was that?
NK cell, natural killer cells.
Oh. Do you guys want to look? I'll put it the way you put it yesterday. Do you want to feel like a pre-med student by doing very little of the pre-med stuff? Just watch this.
Dude, hey, if anything, after watching that guy again, recommend him. If you guys are into eye candy, he's pretty much eye candy.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's pretty much said like everything that goes in the show. Like yeah, it's like I pretty much remember this from my textbooks and everything.
So anyway, tell us a little bit about the show that you have chosen.
So Cells at Work was pretty much a show. It's a show about the human body, and like the trailer says, specifically about you. And it talks about all the inner cells and mechanisms that work inside of your body to pretty much do your everyday routines and everything. Mm-hmm. And I actually found out about this show the day after AX, because I remember there was a banner of it announcing it for July. Mm-hmm. I think it was right after AX, that Saturday of AX that it was going to premiere.
Yeah. I remember when I was trying very hardly to get into the fucking Aniplex booth, they were saying that someone literally popped up and they're like, everyone, Cells at Work just premiered, go and watch it on Crunchyroll, and everyone was just like, oh, okay, but I want to fucking get my stuff, but you keep capping the line. Anyway, that's another story completely. but yeah, like, there was a big push for it. There was a panel premiering the episode. There was a panel of Aniplex talking about, like, other shows that they have bought, and they put a giant emphasis on Cells at Work. Mm-hmm. Oh shit! That reminds me. Promised Neverland came out this month too.
Oh, what's that?
Promised Neverland is those kids in the orphanage where they find out they're really cattle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I gotta. First of all, I need to catch up to like the 5 mangas I bought, but yeah. But. Yeah, they were pushing that show, they were pushing Cells at Work really hard, and there was, of course, already cosplayers running around there, but you could tell they were the cosplayers who saw the trailer for the show or saw the episode and literally threw it together in a day.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, I remember when I saw them, I was confused as hell. I was like, oh shit, and this guy looks like the janitor. I was like, who is he?
Yeah. There was someone already, like, running around as a killer T-cell, and, like,
I thought he was part of like one of those like lolly SWAT members. When I saw him, I was like, "Oh shit, it's the lollies."
Yeah, like he ran up and growled at someone I was talking to, and then I just saw like a kill thing, and like that's a really weird security guard uniform AX has this year. Any groping results in death.
Oh my god, man! But dude. When I saw the trailer, because I remember I checked it out on Facebook that day of, I was like, holy shit, this actually seems pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I kind of down for this.
I probably wouldn't have watched it as fast if it wasn't for you choosing it, because it was one of those shows that had to go into the back burner because of like everything else that was coming out and everything else I was finishing from one season and barely watching the dub from another season.
Oh my god, there was so much.
I really don't like... Netflix really needs to get the ball going on making these anime like simultaneously.
Simulcast?
Yeah, like when fall started, I'm like, okay, I can start watching the fall anime. Oh look, 7 Deadly Sins dub. God damn you! And then like the Baki dub came out, and I'm like, yeah, fuck you. You're gonna have to wait.
God damn it. I haven't watched Baki yet, but from what I've seen in YouTube and everything, it's kind of like a second JoJo with all the muscle and
It really does. What was that Fist of the North Star spinoff where people were all neck?
Ah, fuck.
Like Fist of Something, and the next one literally eating the heads. What the
I don't remember, but I know what you're talking about.
Man, well, yeah, Giga just did a little passing. He's like, Fist of the Something came out and took animation to the next level. But yes, so what were we saying? Right, yeah, we immediately it was all over AX. Mm-hmm. So we knew, and basically Crunchyroll and Aniplex are probably very happy knowing that the anime was gathering pretty fast traction.
Yep. And then more importantly, if anything that I've learned from from past experiences and like just shows that I've watched, if you waifu something that's got historical importance or biological importance, it's guaranteed to make money.
Yes. What did Giga say? Oh yeah, he's like, for years we have spent the endless search of looking for best girl, but who knew that best girl was in us the whole time, in our bloodstream. And then he has that weird scene where it's like, hey baby, you coming often? Are you hitting on me? No, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to your tampon.
Oh shit!
Yeah, did you not see that one?
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, the big punchline was like, yeah, I'm hitting on your blood.
Oh my god, man.
Again, God fucking damn you, Kana Hanazawa. Why do you keep playing waifus?
Kana Hanazawa, your bane and your weakness.
Yeah, you are... God, you are the reason why the Onodera, like, Master Race is as powerful as it is, because you just make the voice for that character. And then she tried to counteract it, but there were still people going online saying that it was Best Girl. At the same time Cells at Work came out, she was in Happy Sugar Life playing the main girl in that one, and there were still people like, you still have to protect her. I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude, Happy Sugar Life kind of fucked me up because, like, goddamn, there's like no one sane in this show.
Oh no!
And the only sane people were already corrupted.
I couldn't even like. I want to finish that show so bad, but after they showed that the little girl is starting to lose it too, I'm like, I can't watch this. I want to, but I don't think I can handle this.
Dude, I couldn't stop. Dude, when I saw that, well, for me, what got to me is when what happened to the guy that made him like afraid of women.
Oh.
When he got yeah, he pretty much got raped by the manager, didn't he?
Yeah, got raped by the manager
and then
held in like a supply closet.
Yeah. Dude, I was like, holy shit, man, he was the only sane one here, and now he's a fucking lollipop.
I know, he's a horrific pedophile, which is like, I just want her to pet me, but then I will ask God for forgiveness if I lose control of myself. I'm like, please, someone come and take her away from him.
Dude, I know, when we found her in the park,
yeah,
I was like, oh fuck, man, this is not gonna go well.
One day we'll do that when I feel like my sanity is ready for it. I don't think that will happen. So.
I don't think I finished Happy Sugar Life, and I was like in like episode 10 or so.
Yeah, you got further than me because I'm like, it was a show that's definitely good, but I'm just like, you're gonna become shit at one point. You're gonna become edgelord shit. Oh, wait, other people are saying it's really good. Other people are saying it's like one of the best suspense anime ever one day. I can't put myself through it.
For me, it was too much suspense for me. It was like Candle in the Month. Like, the show's so interesting, but I feel every episode I watch, I'm like slowly losing my mind.
Yeah, and we had a lot of good anime this year, but we also had a lot of anime that lit the internet on fire. Like Darling in the Franxx was like, oh, this is really good. What the fuck were those last 3 episodes?
Trigger moments.
Yeah, Trigger literally triggered the anime. Trigger and Space.
Trigger and Space, man.
Except they didn't drop the ball on Gridman, so good on you.
Oh, well, I still have to see SSS Gridman.
Oh, maybe I'll make that.
Cause like I've seen pretty much from what I've seen so far, I'm like, damn man, this is kind of like a lot of what I like about shows, mechas and kaijus.
Yeah, and Mother's Basement even explained how even though it's an animation show and they can get a lot crazier if they want to, they're still filming and directing it like it was a live action show. Like they still limit the animation. They don't go all out on it.
Yeah.
So it's really neat how they do that. Let's give it till the end of the episode and maybe that'll either be the next thing we do.
That'll be a discussion probably, yeah.
So, anyway.
Back to Cells at Work.
Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, Cells at Work is basically focusing on your body. I kind of do get what they mean by your body because I think my body is as dangerous as it is in the show. I know I don't really take care of myself all that well, and this body gets invaded like almost every day. Oh my! Oh, isn't that really a thing where there's bacteria in your body like all the time?
Yeah. Pretty much, some of that bacteria is supposed to be in you for you, and then this is one thing I'm gonna do as a public service announcement. There you go. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
PSA. Some bacteria is good for you, okay? So don't go overboard with cleaning, as well as don't go underboard with cleaning. There has to be a good balance for it.
Yeah.
Like you can't just let it get to the point where you're just a walking pandemic.
Yeah, like there's literally one cell. There was one antigen that literally is like a skin cell, but if it gets inside, then it starts causing like food poisoning. Mm-hmm. It's the one that looks like a grape, like a yellow grape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I know it's one of the caucuses one because like Dr. Hope again going back to that guy, he clarified what those mean. Caucus actually is a name for like I think it was the grape-like structure they have.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, interesting.
Yeah, they explained that by episode 11. Yeah, episode 11 or 12, they go ahead and explain that's why they're called that. And that's like when they fuse into a giant one, they turn into grape formation.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that one's literally a skin cell that helps you, but if it gets inside the body, then it can really mess you up. Food poisoning. No thank you.
Oh, with the parasite and everything as well.
Oh my god, yeah.
Damn, we're going way too overboard. It's been too long, Danny. It's been too long without you.
It has. Oh man, dude, I miss doing all of these shows. Like I miss doing Danny and the Electric Fox. I miss doing this show. I miss doing this show the most because it's the most fun, and it's like it really reminds me that I'm still a weeb. I'm a weeb trash, and goddamn it, I want to play. I want to freaking watch Bunny Girl, but I don't have the time for it.
I want to watch Bunny Girl too, because according to what Josh told me, it's pretty good. And from what I've seen with from what my YouTube recommendations, I'm like, damn,
Yeah,
I'm kind of liking this main character.
Yeah, Giga did an entire video, and he's just like, yeah, it's Monogatari, and I'm like, don't say that. Do not use the words Nisio Isin or Monogatari in my presence, because I will throw everything away to go and watch that. Like again. I was watching Aki's video and she's like, I've been reading this manga called Imperfect Girl. It's by Nisio Isin. I bought I bought all of the volumes and like, okay, let's read this. Actually, I still haven't watched the new Monogatari that came out.
Speaking about you,
what?
Back to the show.
Oh yeah,
we're starting to get sidetracked already.
Oh yes, but yeah. So this show does its best, and actually. No. Osmosis Jones does its best and fails, but I still like that movie. This show does a very good job at running down everything that happens to your body while putting an unbelievably entertaining, like, comedic twist on it.
Yeah.
Like, my god, I love the freaking allergy episode, the pollen allergy. But it's literally like. All of the parts that are in charge of your nasal cavity are just having a complete meltdown.
I know, and people are just panicking because like it's unknown. What do we do with it?
Yeah.
Oh, especially the fat cell or the mast cell, I think it was called. Where like it's just reading the manual, it's like, according to the book, if something foreign enters the bloodstream, I'm supposed to set the levels of histamines to right here. Yeah, that seems right.
Yeah. And then in some other department, they're like, what the fuck are they doing? It's so high in here. Or like, what was the cell that was, that has like the giant water gun?
Oh, that's the B cells.
Yeah, well, that one was like, my fluid's not working. I guess I'm just gonna have to spray everywhere. That's how the runny nose starts.
No, yeah, because like the B cell, that one in there, as explained, that's the one that actually makes the antibodies for you. And again, damn, I really like this guy a lot. Watch Dr. Hope's sick notes. He'll explain why.
I think it's gonna be just like how it's impossible for every week not for me to use a Giga reference. This show specifically is gonna be very hard not to reference that guy because he blew up. He was only supposed to do one episode, and then he ended up doing all of it, right?
He's still doing the reviews.
Is he doing like multiple episodes on one episode?
No, he's doing one episode per.
Oh, so what episodes are you on now?
4, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so he's doing it whenever they can?
Yeah, it's just that if anything, kind of like, copyrights and everything, they're kind of being a bitch.
Yeah, I know that's stopping a few YouTubers right now. The Ruby community is really like taking hits because the creators are like, we want you to cover an episode a week behind, so if you try to catch up, flag.
I know.
So yeah, like what was he saying?
So pretty much, damn, this is gonna feel like a lecture already. So the way he describes it is like whenever a B cell produces antibodies, the antibodies that it makes is made for that specific invasion or pathogen that's invaded.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much meant to attach it not only to prevent the cell to like hijacking another cell or like infecting it, but also to use it as a kind of like a warning signal to like the white blood cells.
Yeah.
So when a white blood cell comes across the pathogen and finds the antibody, it alerts it to like, oh, this is bad. I should probably kill this thing.
Yeah. Which, oh my god, like, so the blood.
I wish I was wearing a lab coat right now.
Right.
It felt so natural.
The main characters in the show are actually Red Blood Cell, which is, of course, one of the best girls in the show because there's a lot in here.
I know best bill for you was the platelet.
No, best girl for me was actually one of the other red cells.
Which one?
This one?
Oh, that's the macrophage.
Yeah, there we go. Macrophage. The monocyte was the ones that are in the
the
hazard suit.
Yeah, the hazmat suits.
Yeah. But yeah. So she's voiced by Kana Hanazawa, the red blood cell, and then I need to look it up, but I'm pretty sure the voice of Jotaro, Daiosuke. Ono is voicing white blood cell, which cracks me up because they're good, like, they're helpful, they don't hurt any good cells, but I love when they fight, they go on like this murderous rage. And like on the episode I left off, the red blood cell in training was even like, yeah, they confuse justice for violence a lot. And you just see like,
oh, when she's training her like the new one.
Yeah, and they're just like, no, they're good people. Yeah, explain the red blood cells, explain the white blood cells to her white blood cell.
Oh, he was killing them.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, this is how it works. You're still alive? Yeah!
Oh yeah, well, he's brutally murdering that German and everything. It's like, so our job mainly focuses on just trying to keep pathogens out of the body system.
Yeah.
And then trying to make sure that nothing gets into the vital organs.
Yeah, the antigen that was like, he was fighting was like gnawing at his arm while he was explaining it. But yeah, it's an interesting show because it opens up like those two becoming friends. And like them being like, oh, will I ever see you again? It's like, yeah, probably very unlikely. There's literally billions of you guys in here. I'm probably never gonna see you again. Yeah, it keeps running into it every episode.
I know, and that's funny though, because like right towards like the middle, like towards the end of the show, like people start shipping them.
Right? Was it people in the show or just like the community?
No, the community.
Yeah, I've seen those. I've seen cosplays. I've seen very, very creepy fan art.
Ooh, especially when Red Blood Cell tries to navigate on herself on her own for the first time.
That episode was so good. Yeah. Yeah, where it's like, well, but it's like, oh, you're going to the lungs again? Okay, I'll help you out. No, I want to do this on my own. And it's like, okay, it's stalking her the whole time to make sure she doesn't mess up, and actually did have to help her a few times.
Yep. And like all great journeys, and to make sure like we actually have like a structure to this, because I feel like I'm gonna get sidetracked again.
Yeah.
Let's start with the first episode.
First episode. So what was the first episode again? It was. Oh, I can't pronounce that.
Which one? Oh, pneumococcus.
Yeah.
So the first episode was a pneumococcus infection. I sound like Dr. Hope. And like he said again, so pneumo, like he mentioned it and everything, like whenever you hear anything that has to like starts with that, it always has to do with the lungs and everything.
Yeah.
And then coccus again, the grape like structure and everything. And for this one, the show actually was focusing on respiration.
Yeah.
Like how respiration works and everything. So it shows like, red blood cell, she's like ready to she's ready to like deliver oxygen and everything, but she keeps getting lost.
Yeah.
And that's where she meets white blood cell. The white blood cell over here. Damn, it's so hard to refer to them as just that because it feels like I'm just referring to the other billions of cells in your body.
They should. I mean, I know it would have been a little too cutesy and probably would have killed, you know,
The vibe if you just gave them names.
Yeah, like Yuki, the blood cell or something like that. But again, it is really hard to be like right blood cell. And even at one point, they saw there's like 3 episodes where they don't even focus on those 2.
I know. And then, if anything, I would refer to if anything, the one thing that Dr. Hope did point out, if anything, is like the little number tag on her hat.
Oh.
She has a little number tag, and that's supposed to be, I think, her if she's like positive or negative.
Oh, AE, I think.
A something. We'll just refer to her as that. I feel like I'm referring to her as like a prisoner, but yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, yeah. What's the number?
Prisoner AE. Oh, I can't see it. I'd have to go like deeper into the show. If you click the.
Oh God. Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah. Oh no, like you can go closer.
No, but like I can't see shit.
Oh no, hold up.
Information.
Yeah. I just see AE. And you can't do that. That's the thing that pisses me off.
That's fine.
Yeah, you can't do that on Crunchyroll. But anyway, continue.
But yeah, and then pretty much the thing about this red blood cell in particular is that as you guess, she's bad with directions. So she ends up going like down the wrong vessels and everything.
I think it's 2831.
2831?
Yeah, or 3821. I don't know. It's so weird.
We'll just say AE for now.
Yeah.
But yeah, and pretty much what she's trying to do is trying to deliver this carton of oxygen, while also while trying to figure out where to go where to go to like the lungs and everything.
Yep.
So in her journey, she runs across a white blood cell, which helps her locate where she's supposed to go and everything. Mm-hmm. And the reason why they met is because recently, now I don't know why, but there was a breach in the skin layer, and they got a pneumococcus infection.
Yeah.
Now the thing
there
about
was like a horde of them too.
Yeah, there was a horde of them, which explains it because when you get a cut, it's not just like 1 or 2 germs or anything, but a bunch of them that have been waiting for a while.
Yeah.
Which is why again this cut concerns me.
yeah. Right now there's probably just like an all-out war going in there while you see a bunch of little platelets like padding it in.
Yeah. And pretty much, the thing about it is that they managed to kill most of them, except one of them manages to escape.
Yeah.
So it tries to go into hiding looking for the lungs.
Yep, but Red Blood Cell, who is one of those characters who are hopeless with directions, like really, really bad with directions, ends up wandering into this room and finds the one what was it again?
The pneumococcus.
Yeah, the pneumococcus just hiding out. And then she quickly closes the door and he rushes her and is like, did you really think I'd leave you alone after that? Because what they wanted was to eat the nutrients from the cells, and she was delivering a nutrient.
Oxygen.
Oh, oxygen?
Yeah, because what's in the carton is she was delivering the oxygen.
Yeah.
And the nutrients were actually the baskets of breads and sandwiches that they actually had.
Yeah.
Dude, that show made me hungry so many times because I just saw those sandwiches. I'm like, damn.
They really shouldn't have turned that into food porn, man. There's so much ice cream and like sugar stuff because a lot of those cells need glucose and sugar to operate, so that's mainly what they eat.
Yeah. And a lot of the things going on in the show as well is like, damn, this could work out for like motivational things.
Yeah. Again, like any person who's teaching pre-med definitely needs to make that class watch this show. But yeah, so I think White Blood Cell ends up chasing him off or something.
He chases him off, and that's where the pneumococcus like it deploys that little web and capsule.
Yeah.
And it ends up disappearing. So for the whole time they're like wondering, it's like, huh? It's like, I wonder what's gonna happen. It's like, I don't know, but if anything, we better keep him away from the lungs. It's like, why is that? Because the thing about pneumococcus is once it gets into the lungs, the reason why it stays there is because it pretty much waits for red blood cells to deliver oxygen and nutrients specifically.
Mm-hmm.
So once it gets those nutrients, it allows it to multiply, and then that's pretty much what causes a lot of the respiratory illnesses. More importantly, from what it's named after, pneumonia.
Right.
So once that happens and everything, if pneumococcus gets virulent to that point, it's it can pretty much lead to respiratory failure and then death.
Huh.
But that's only in severe cases. By the way, this is why you need to believe in vaccines.
Please, people, please believe in vaccines because the show definitely does sell you on that. like we'll get to it later, but the heat stroke episode was flat out saved by a vaccine.
Well, that wasn't a vaccine actually. That was actually an IV.
Oh, an IV?
Yeah, that was pretty much a saline solution. What they injected them was an emergency water and saline solution.
See, I didn't know half of that. I was watching this for the waifus.
I only knew that because of my CPR training. That's why most of these things are like, hey, I remember this from my winter class.
So this is what's happening in there. Oh, that's what you're thinking the whole time. So this is what's happening. And then, yeah, and then like he helps her get, White blood cell ends up helping Red get to another part of the body, and then realizes that these little antennae he has at the back of his head started flashing, but he really didn't know where it was coming from.
Yeah.
Is that a thing though?
Yeah, for pretty much for that, what that's supposed to represent is pretty much the receptors in the white blood cell.
Oh no, I'm talking about why he was picking up the pneumococcus.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do that? They hide like that in the blood?
Well, sometimes. So the way Dr. Hope described it is that it's not that they latch onto a like say to a red blood cell or anything, because it's still like it's going to be a little bit bigger than the red blood cell.
Oh.
But rather, what they do is that whenever a pneumococcus gets detected or anything, it tends to like have like this little like envelop itself in a capsule, which is what made it tough to cut.
Yeah.
And then it does that. When it does that and everything, like so, like it can temporarily hide itself from the white blood cells if it hasn't been like detected early on or doesn't have an antibody attached to it.
Oh.
So while the body's like still busy looking for it, like the pneumococcus still has a chance to like get to the lungs and everything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes a lot. Okay, I'm actually gonna have to watch this show too. Well, the videos too. Because a
Dr.
lot
Hope helps to explain that a lot.
Yeah, where it's like, okay, that was fun, but I'm missing a few things because the show almost the if you guys watch this on Crunchyroll or anywhere in subtitles, you're gonna have to keep looking for the subtitle bar because they keep moving it up and down because there's information flashing on the screen almost all the time.
Yep. So like stuff explained, dude. That was so confusing for me. I was like, wait, why am I still reading the subtitles if I can just read the box here?
Right. And sometimes it doesn't even tell you the. Sometimes it doesn't even tell you the. What was I thinking? It doesn't narrate some of the information. Like you have to read it fast or like pause the video.
Yeah, because sometimes some of the information they do put in there is repeated sometimes.
Oh yeah. It actually kind of drove me crazy how many times they told you what a white blood cell and a red blood cell is. I'm like, I know! I'm on episode 10!
It's because of episode 1 that I call white blood cells neutrophils now.
Right? Yeah, neutrophils and all those other how many different ones were there?
Like the neutrophils, which is the white blood cells, monocytes, the macrophages, and then the T cells were the cytotoxic cells.
Yeah.
NK were the natural killers.
NK, was that the one that was weak unless it dealt with a parasite?
No, that's not. That's a different one. That was I don't remember what they called it.
I forgot too because she popped up in episode 12.
No, she was like in episode 2 or 3 with the parasite.
Oh no, she popped up again in episode 12.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of fresh in my head, but at the same time, I'm just like I don't remember what that was. So
I forgot her name too, but she's a type of white blood cell.
Yeah.
And then there's the basophils, which is the mysterious one. And the thing that I liked about him the most is that you never know what he's doing because not even scientists know what the purpose of a basophil is. So you always see him just talking in like cryptic messages and just like standing there whenever there's an infection.
Do we know anything about the creator of this manga series? Was he like a pre-med student or something?
I believe so.
He had to have been, yeah.
I believe that's one of the things they touched upon, but I could just be I could just be thinking of Dr. Hope.
Dr. Hope has embedded himself in the series to the point where people think he just created it.
I mean, hey, he does make for pretty good analysis, man.
Yeah, but anyway, right when she gets to the lungs, the
alveoli, which is where the air sac's at, that's where she does the gas exchange.
Yeah, the pneumococcus shows up, but luckily, white blood cell, not being anyone's fault, was able to see that. So he ends up being able to stop it in time after a little fight here and there because this is still an anime and basically. I'll put it this way before I forget it. This is basically One Punch Man in the human body. Because this is a city that gets attacked like every day.
Which makes sense.
Mm-hmm. But then we move on to like episode 2, where seriously, episode 2 has made me feel bad for all of the times I have cut myself up or gotten nasty bruises as a kid.
Damn, what was episode 2?
Oh, episode 2 was the scrape wound.
Oh, abrasions, yeah.
Yeah, but that one was just like, they're just relaxing one day and then a giant cavernous hole opens up and starts sucking in the blood.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, it's like, that one just made me feel like, man, I cannot count the amount of times I've gotten scabs as a kid. I made hell for my blood cells. like seriously, it's just like a bunch of blood cells they show horribly, because remember, the blood cells are like living people. They're not like cartoon looking creatures like in Osmosis Jones. So when you see like the blood cells getting like sucked out, to bleed out in the inside, you are just seeing a bunch of people like, help me, I don't want to die.
I know, man. That's a lot of the things as well. Like, if you watch this, it might make you into a germaphobe a little bit. It's like, it kind of lets you empathize with your immune system and everything. It's like, shit, man. I need to start getting better. I need to start getting better at this.
I know. It's like I gotta stop being so loosey goosey with my body. They need me too. but like, yeah, because almost immediately when like the wound opens up, hordes, and I mean hordes of different bacteria and antigens like start flooding into the body. Mm-hmm. And it is horrifying because you see them like grabbing people, eating cells and like other things, and then just like them even having like masterminds that are killing the white cells. It's just like this is terrifying.
Which, by the way, a little bit on the side note. After watching Cells at Work, I actually checked out the author first, and he actually has multiple different Cells at Work one.
Yep.
The one that I chose to read first, sadly, that was Cells at Work Black, and I was like, damn, this is depressing.
I know about that one thanks to Giguk's girlfriend Sid Snaps. She talked about it, and I'm like, oh. Yeah, okay. So this is what happens when you don't take care of your body and all the horrible shit that can happen.
Yeah, damn, and that was.
How many more does he have? It's just Black in this, right?
It was this one, and then there was another one. I forgot what the other one was for, though.
Oh, that's interesting that he has them covering like different aspects of it. Because I'm still fairly convinced that the person in this body, even though they want you to think it's you, I'm still fairly convinced that the person in this main show is like an athletic child or an athletic kid or something.
Or it's just someone very, regular, somewhat healthy.
Yeah, but just like the amount of times they have scraped knees, they get a scab because you see the platelets a lot in this show. Like, I know they're mainly there because people love cute things, but it is like they're there and they're always repairing something.
I know. Oh yeah, I was like saying, like, I know, right?
Yeah, and but yeah, it's a mildly healthy body, and I know that in Cells at Work Black, they name the main character whose body it belongs to, and just show you, yeah, this person doesn't take care of his body. Let me show you what happens.
Dude, you know what the weird thing about Cells at Work Black is, no?
What?
Like, from what I've read from a lot of people saying, it's like, damn, you know what the sad part is? This is actually like low key. This form of Cells at Work is kind of like a protest of, like, people overworking themselves in Japan. Because like the premise to that body is apparently this is like a middle-aged later-aged man who's like been working his entire life. He's just pretty much to the point where he's put work above all else, so that's why he's like drinking, like why he's stressed and everything.
Oh.
So that's why some people are thinking like, man, what if this is just a guy who's like working for like a company that's just overworking him.
Yeah. Oh my god, I didn't think of that. And that is the thing that a lot of these manga artists and people who work in Japan are really starting to tackle because of how big of a problem it was. Mm-hmm. Like, I think
it is still.
Yeah, like, wasn't one of the artists of Dragon Ball Z, didn't they die? Like, it wasn't the main creator, but it was like an artist.
One of the artists, yeah.
Yeah. Like, he ended up dying that way, and that's when people are really like, wow, we have to keep an eye on this. We have to make sure this doesn't happen.
No, yeah, because if anything, like shows like Shirobako and everything showed, the industry's kind of cutthroat.
Yeah, yeah. Shirobako taught me that the industry will literally lock you up in a cage that they have in the building. Don't know why they have it in the first place, but it makes sense by the time the show starts.
Yeah.
I'm like, they actually had a cage to lock in the show director.
And again, going back to the show Cells at Work as well, is like the thing that I really loved about the show again is like other than like it being educational, like again, it was stuff that made me feel, it kind of made me feel like a prima. It's like, damn, I could have gone to medical school and that would have been okay.
What is it? It's like what terraformers made me when I went to biology. Like I knew a lot about how some of the animals worked because terraformers was like, this person has the ability to sweat out milk, and I'm like, hey, I know that.
And then, if anything, as well, like the thing about Cells at Work that I really enjoyed, that really just made it enjoyable as well, is it's relatable.
Mm-hmm.
As crazy as it sounds, like it's relatable because they're like, hey, I remember that time I got food poisoning as well. It's like, oh damn, I remember I had to get a parasite removed as well.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many conditions, like there's just so many things that can happen to the human body that there's like it's almost impossible that you haven't experienced it.
Yeah, I think if I ever get a parasite again, like a parasite that's causing food poisoning, I'm just gonna be like, you fuckers better be doing your job down there. I hate this. but yeah, like scraping your knee. What was another one?
Allergies.
Yeah,
the allergies and everything.
Heat stroke.
And then you know what I loved about the heat stroke though? And this is one thing I would have never picked up on if it weren't for my CPR class.
What?
Remember during the heat stroke when they were receiving the IV and you got all the water?
Yeah.
There's like, you should really come here, especially near the armpit areas. It's really nice and cold.
Yeah.
You know why that is?
Because of all the sweat glands?
No.
No.
The reason why is whenever you have a heat stroke victim, you want to put once you get them cooled down and full of water and everything, you want to put ice packs underneath the over here.
Oh.
Because there's a lot of major blood vessels that run here. So once you put them right here and then on their hands and everything, it cools down the body much more quickly.
Oh. See, I didn't know that.
That's why when I caught that, I was like, hey, it helps to learn.
So they're even referencing things that they're even doing things that aren't and not really explaining it too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool. So half of it is explaining it to you bit by bit, while the other half is like
kind of figuring it out for yourself, like what are the things could be happening.
Yeah. See that's interesting. Now I kind of just want to go back and watch the show again, even though I literally saw that episode this morning.
And going back to like the thing that being relatable as well, like again when I went to like go see like the comment section and everything, like I would see people go like, oh yeah, I remember that time I went at a sushi bar, like I wasn't a parasite but I still had food poisoning. Now I feel like, damn, I don't know, this is what my cells went through.
Yeah.
Especially the IV one where the guy says like, if this is the reason why even though I'm afraid of needles, I always thank people. I'm always thankful for IVs because whenever you're dehydrated or anything, it's literally just a fresher breath that when you get that extra water in you, like you just get second wind again.
Yeah, and then like that was the show. Also didn't really focus a lot on like antibiotics and stuff because I think they only did.
Once with the allergies, with the steroid.
Oh yeah.
Oh, let me go get that. You continue.
Yeah. And so once with the allergies, and then the other one with the IV, where they're pumping in more fluid into it. But anyway, yeah. One of the really cool things with the show, which is why I think it's the only way we can really review it, is when we have. Oops, sorry, I'm too far away. I think the only proper way we can review this is kind of going all over the place. But again, we're trying to keep it in one place. So in episode 2, yeah, the cells end up getting infected. The cells end up like being attacked by a plethora of different like bacteria and antigens. And this is being directed by, this is being handled by David Productions, as you guys know, is being handled by the JoJo Animation Company. So you get a lot of like really hammy voice acting from the antigens. Almost all like the bacteria in the show talk. Except for maybe the parasites, they don't talk. But like all of them talk, and all of them you'll recognize as other JoJo voice actors. I could have sworn, I could have heard the voice actor for Red Hot Chili Peppers at one point in the episode. Oh, I was explaining how since this is David Productions, when in episode 2 where it does turn out into a full-on fight, you do really see like this style of animating fights and stuff. Like the fights aren't too flashy, but they're very exciting with the way they're being handled. Like when the white blood cells are handling that skin bacteria, that they have a 2D animated skin bacteria, but like 3D models of white blood cells deflecting the knives,
Yeah.
deflecting the talons. Yeah. But yeah, they go full ham with this fight, which is why if you guys are still waiting for One Punch Man, this could actually help you out.
I know.
You're very One Punch Man with the animation here.
Oh my god, yeah, especially with the levels of destruction and then just how like everything just struggles to keep the body healthy.
Yeah, and remember, like every time a monster attacked in One Punch Man, you'd always see like the hero association,
Yeah.
and you see other parts of the bodies having scenes straight out of that, like what was the other T cell that?
Helper T cell.
Yeah, helper T cell. You just see them like, yeah, send them over here, and then make sure you close off this area, like flat out, like yeah, this is One Punch Man. And when did this come out? Oh, look, it came out years after One Punch Man. Except, again, this one I like a lot. I really like this. If it wasn't for the fact that I have a lot of manga to read, I probably would try to pick this up.
No, yeah. And that's what I wanted to do as well. Well, for me, it's not that I don't have too much manga to read, I just need money.
That's true. I mean, there's other means, but we're good law-abiding citizens who pay for all our manga and streaming services.
Sadly for me, physical manga's my bias, because I could read it online, but it's just not the same.
Oh, dude, yeah. I became friends with a girl from GCC, and we hung out one day, and she was just like, "You're still buying manga? Why don't you read it online?" And I'm like, I like feeling the manga in my hand. Oh, you're one of those people. I'm like, what's wrong with those people?
I know. For me, I don't know why, because I think I know why.
What?
The reason why I don't like it online is because I get distracted online. Because I'm like, oh, I could read this, but then there's double experience week.
Right?
And then I just get distracted and never pick it up.
Quick sidebar. I had to delete Dragalia. I don't know if that Nintendo game that came out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to delete that. I was getting too addicted to that shit. I'm like, I can't do this. I want to read manga, or I have to write a script because I'm trying to write if it ever gets produced, I'm not sure, but I'm trying to write an audio drama, and I just want to write it knowing that I could write one, and I got so caught up in that stupid game that it literally took weeks of potential writing from me. I'm like, God damn it, so I deleted it.
Nah, that probably sounds like a good choice.
Yeah, and I might call you back.
I know, I'm not that strong-willed. I'm still binded by my grinding games.
What games are you playing?
Well, right now I'm just playing Honkai Impact, which is, already taken over my life. And then recently I got into Azure Lane and I'm like, God damn it, why did I...
It's the closest we'll ever get to Cancol.
I know, because all these years I've always wanted to play Cancol, and then I remember Ben talking about it at GCC, and right here I was like, you know what? I have no stamina left over in Honkai. I should probably give it a whirl. And I'm like, damn, this was a mistake.
This was a terrible mistake. You can marry your boats in that game.
Dude, that was weird though. I know. It's weird. I was like, damn, this marriage mechanic's kind of strange.
Yeah, but anyway, back to the human body. Yeah, so then we have episode...
Well, actually, let's actually go through, since I'm probably gonna end up talking forever about each episode and kind of ruin it for people.
Yeah.
Let's go through more episodes that kind of have big impacts with us.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what I want to do. I don't mind. I mean, I like when we are able to spoil things, and there will be episodes where I'm just like, look, we're going to have to spoil this.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this one I think it is. Because we're always like, okay, we'll stick on episode 2. But hey, look at this thing in episode 8.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, what do you want to bring up?
If anything, I want to talk about the influenza one.
What one was that again?
That's the one where they show up the naive T cell, and then where they introduce the macrophage.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the one that was a zombie apocalypse episode.
Yeah. And then, because you remember those little cushions on the top of their heads, right?
Yeah.
That's the virus.
Yeah.
Because remember, when it comes to infections, there's 3 types of infections. There's bacterial, parasitic or fungal, and then with the influenza, a viral one.
Yeah.
No, the viral one, viral.
Yeah.
However we want to say it.
Same thing.
Same, but different.
Yes. So yeah, the viral infection, which is a zombie apocalypse episode, and but like, what was it you wanted to bring up with this one? My bad. I was trying to take over. I'm like, no, don't do it.
No, it's okay. So the reason why I wanted to bring this one up, and if anything as well, is because again, this is like showing you just how creative they get with like showing how the infection works.
Yeah.
Because the thing with a virus, and this is, I already knew this before the show because I remembered I would there was a time where I would like look at random YouTube videos about infections and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of spare time at night.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
the
me
thing,
too.
yeah, and like the cool thing about it is that viruses technically aren't living until they infect something. Because all a virus really is pretty much a capsule with a little bit of RNA inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
So until a virus gets into like a living host and like it's able to replicate itself, it's technically not living because that's the only way it can reproduce. And that was one of the things that made me question existence. It kind of led into an existential crisis in a while. Because I remember like looking up the definition of what makes things living, and I was like, huh.
Oh my god.
I was like, huh, does that mean cars are living? Am I living? I was like, what's going on?
Am I alive? Has everything I've done been alive the whole time? Well, it was a problem that a few people had with this show too, is like, okay, if these cells are technically people, does that mean they have their own cell organization inside them? Does that also mean their cells have a cell organization? Where does it begin and when does it end?
Well, here, this is where I can make it easier for you guys. Just remember, what's inside of a cell is just organelles.
Yes.
Organelles and little like just DNA and everything. And then after that, it's just nothing but proteins and atoms.
Yeah.
So there is an end.
But Lewis, what if we're in a human body?
Huh, well, it's a shit ass body.
Yeah, I know. I haven't really done anything to help society, so I think this human body is really bad.
I think I might be a dendrite cell. All I do is just talk to people and like guide them.
I think I might be a fat cell. I eat a lot.
Just store everything.
Yeah. Also, very disappointed in this show that the fat cell is a waifu and not an actual fat person.
No, you don't know why?
What?
It's actually a misconception. The mast cell, or like the reason why they call it a fat cell, is because it's in that same family.
Oh.
But the difference between a mast cell and an actual fat cell is that mast cells don't actually like store fat or anything. The only reason they exist is pretty much to like for allergic responses or antigen response.
Oh, okay.
So that's their only job, is to pretty much like do histamines. That's why she gets offended when the B cell calls her a fat cell.
Right.
Because that's her more infamous name, if anything.
Yeah. So, back to the episode.
Oh, so yeah, so I really liked it because again, you see like there's like these little pin cushions on top of them, on top of each cell, and you realize that's the virus there.
Yeah.
And it's like it really is like a zombie apocalypse because like once one infected touches a healthy one, it turns it into it.
Yeah, and then they have like they have an emergency because they're like in the main cell district where all the other cells are at, and they're like, everyone stay inside. Hey, what's all that noise? What's this thing?
And it starts converting them.
Yeah. And then like the whole thing in this episode is that we have the killer T cells, which are like the flat out immune system.
The T cells, yeah.
And at the same time, they have another group of cells helping them, which are, in this world, the T cells are depicted as the military. They are like the flat out military unit, and then the naive cells are like the beginning rookies who are getting hazed.
Basic training.
Yeah, the basic training who keep getting hazed and stuff. And they have one who's like super scared. He's supposed to become real, like a real cell, but like he's just so cowardly he can't do it.
Mm-hmm. And then like the explanation goes, because again I'll just say his name, because like Dr. Hope explained, I can't avoid it.
Nope.
But like Dr. Hope explained it, anything, the reason why they're called the reason why they're referred to as naive T cells is because these are actually newly created T cells.
Yeah.
So they haven't actually experienced like fighting bacteria or anything. And the reason why T cells are so their scientific name cytotoxic cells are so like efficient is because they're made to kill a specific type of pathogen.
Yeah.
So when an infection occurs, and I forgot which cell it was. I forgot if it was like a helper T cell that presents it or something.
It was. I don't think it was a helper T cell. It was that one that keeps documenting them.
Oh, the memory cell. There you go. Yeah. The memory cell. The one. The dendritic cells.
Yeah.
Whenever they pass the information about what type of information is, it pretty much customizes that specific naive T cell to fight that specific infection.
Yeah.
So until it gets that specialization, naive cells are pretty much kind of like a little bit too long too, and don't know where to go and everything, like what to do with it.
Yeah.
And so you see this journey where like the naive T cell doesn't know, is too afraid to like fight or anything, or like can't do anything.
Yeah, and thinks that his commanding officer was always brave.
And it's not until he meets the dendrite cell where like he gets activated.
Yeah.
And
Which man, I love how they do that, because at first it's just like he's the one that gives the cells at work thing, like every time the passing card. I forget what they called it. They gave it a name in Shirobako, but it was like the in-between card.
yeah.
Yeah, but like at first he says it in a very in this very cowardly way, but then when they come back from break, it's suddenly you can tell it's the same female voice actor, but deepening the voice. Cells at work. Ho ho ho. I'm like, oh no, what's happening now? And yeah, when he comes out, it's just a super buff dude who could like multiply himself.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, that was the funny part, because you just see him like burst through a wall and like start beating the crap out of the influenza that was cornering the immune system.
Yeah.
And I've finally been awoken.
Yeah.
Also, I've proliferated. So you see him punch more behind.
Yeah, and then it's like, don't worry, we'll create an opening for you, and they all like the clones of him end up just like punching in formation and like drilling through the enemies. Yeah, but was that for comedy, or was it an actual thing that when the bigger influenza came, he suddenly reverted back? Was that a thing?
Yeah, because here's the explanation why. Remember in the beginning, like when they were trying to figure out what kind of influenza it was, like, we need to figure out what type it is, because there's 3 types of influenza. I think it was like type A, B, and C.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like hoping, like hopefully, I forgot which one it was. I think it was the B or C one. But it's like hopefully it's not one of those, because like that's the more infectious one.
Yeah.
And it even explains it in towards the end, where it's like that type of influenza is actually the ones that's like historically has led to like pandemics and epidemics throughout human history.
Oh.
Because the thing with that influenza is that it mutates rapidly. So, the immune system kind of has a little bit of trouble keeping up with it. Because remember how I mentioned how like the T cells, they're pretty much made to fight that specific strain?
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that viruses kind of cope with this is like they kind of like mutate almost all the time. So if a mutation occurs and it changes its strain, then that T cell is no longer like, able to combat it.
Oh.
So the first type that they were this one I know for sure is like the first type they were fighting was the type A influenza,
Right.
which is like the not the virulent one. So that's why they were like it wasn't as bad.
Mm-hmm.
So when they met with the other one, that was the more like the more infectious one. I think it was the type C.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it had to have been like the very last one.
One of them. It was one of those. So that's why he was ineffective, because he wasn't made to fight that specific one.
Oh.
And that's why you see the B cell run away. It's like saying it's like, my antigens aren't working. It's like, oh well, gotta go make up another batch.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that makes sense. Yeah, I am gonna have to watch these videos to get this context. But yeah, like that one, it's them finding. Do they stop it, or does the episode just end like that?
It just ends there.
Yeah.
It's like, and like you just hear like violence in the back. It's like, and the thing about the virulent strain is it takes your body a lot longer to fight that one.
Yeah. I can. Yeah. I can imagine that one.
And it was funny because one of the things that made that show that episode so memorable for me is that somebody put that somebody took that scene where like you see like the type A like grow its strong arms, like it's like all one versus one for all polarized.
Yeah.
And then you just see the part where he shrinks his all might, losing his power.
Too soon. That just happened this season.
I know. That was so beautiful when I saw it. I was like, this is very accurate for that all might versus one for all.
All of those. Like, so many memes anime can do. But yeah, anything else? I got an episode.
Oh, which one?
This episode made me mad. I get why they decided to present it this way, but it made me mad given context.
I think I know what you're talking about.
The cancer episode?
Yeah.
I'm like, you are not doing what I think you're doing. No, you are not going to humanize one of the deadliest, one of the most terrible things that can happen to a human. You are not going to try to make me feel bad for a fucking cancer. So.
Dude, that one was one of the more feelsy ones too.
It was like, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna say like I didn't feel bad for it because the show did a good job anyway, but it's still like, why am I feeling bad for a cancer show? I know people who've been affected with cancer.
Oh my god.
I mean,
But the thing about the show is that it's got a point though. Those cells didn't by nature decide to become cancer cells. They were just born that way.
yeah, and given like they need to be killed for the greater good, but they're still being murdered, and it doesn't help that when they were born they were children. So you have a bunch of T cells raiding a building and like just slaughtering all of them. And but yeah, this is this is when you get super like battle anime into the show because it is a T cell that is basically a ghoul from Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought too. And again, where the memes come from, because there was like, damn, Tokyo Ghoul Reese coming up pretty amazing.
Yeah, finally glad Pierrot was able to turn this around. Yeah. I remember reading a meme where they're like, wow, I wasn't a big fan of the first 2 seasons, but Ria's really turning it around for me.
And, oh my god, that episode was kind of like, again, it was like one of those things where it made me question. I was like, damn, I know cancer is bad, but this is kind of making me feel bad because it kind of, that cell has a point. It didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
It wasn't its choice to become a cancer cell.
Yeah, and it wanted to and it was destroying out of anger, not because it was an actual evil intent. It wasn't like the other bacteria where they're like, yes, once all of you die around me, I will take over this body. This one's just like, you took away people I love, now I'm gonna just kill everyone.
And the thing about it is, and like, that's also the thing where like you notice it as well, is like because leading up to that episode, when they were trying to investigate the body, who was it? Was it the T cells? No, the NK cell, the natural killer, the best waifu.
Yes.
She's the best waifu for me. You know how much my bias is to muscles.
Oh wait, what? Oh yeah, that one. There's just something about nerdy guys and muscle women we like. No denying it there. It's so weird. Maybe that's why I have an attraction towards tall chicks. It's got to be in that category.
I don't know where my attraction to older chick comes from though.
That is true. I don't know. Media?
I don't know. All I know is that well, actually, I think I know why. I just don't like younger women.
Yeah, the same thing with how women are like, I don't like younger men. But what was I saying? Yeah, so what was it again? Natural killer cell?
Yeah, the NK cell. And the thing about it was like she was investigating because there was a certain district of cells that are getting more nutrients than usual, which was like, that's weird. This should be happening if they're like operating at regular capacity.
Oh yeah, I remember that. They're like, where are you going? We're just delivering nutrients, and they're literally like stacking it upon stacking it. Right, I remember.
And then that's when like they go investigate it, and like where like that the regular cell like leads them to it.
Yeah.
And it's just the 3 of them. Like it's just the NK with the T cell, the blonde one.
Yeah.
And then with our main white blood cell.
Yes.
Our main neutrophil.
Yes, husbando.
Husbando neutrophil.
Husbando neutrophil. Yeah, and they go in and after like, oh here, I'll show you. I'll show you where all the weird anomalies is happening. It reveals himself to actually be a cancer cell. Yeah. And that is the thing, right? A cancer cell disguising itself as a regular cell?
Not that it disguises, but in the early stages of cancer, it's not discernible.
Oh.
Because this is before, it becomes this is where one of the things, like knowing the types of stages of cancer and everything can really affect your outlook in life. Because, when you hear the word cancer, you think like, fuck, my life's dead, my life's over. But you have to think what kind of cancer cell is it? Is it a benign tumor? Like especially with tumors and everything. That's what I want to say, not cancer, tumors. Because usually people just associate tumors with like cancer and everything. Yeah. Is it like a benign? Is it malignant? Is it just what was the other one?
I don't know. I just know like the basic like skin cancer, stomach cancer, all that.
Yeah. So initially you don't know it's gonna be like dangerous or anything. It just appears like any other cell.
Right.
It's
And it isn't until it keeps replicating.
Yeah, because remember, these cells are really tiny, so it's not to the point where like you get like it's like hundreds of its own size, or like or even bigger, that it actually starts to get noticeable.
Yeah.
So like compared to other cells, like you just be like, oh, maybe it's like maybe maybe it just needs more nutrients than usual, because this cell in particular is being used for a particular reason, whether it's like a muscle cell or like a skin cell or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And so that explains why the cells in it were able to stop it without them being like, oh hey, a giant laser gun shot from the sky and that was chemotherapy.
Yeah. No, yeah. And and so again, like the thing about this episode was that this was like not even early onset of cancer. This is just like the body preventing that from happening.
Yeah.
Cause
Yeah, like it was there, but the body was able to stop it.
Yeah, because the thing about cancer, it's gonna happen eventually with your body, because there's so many billions of cells doing so many processes all the time and dividing constantly. There's bound to be a mistake at one point.
We're gonna scare people that way.
I know.
You mean it can happen any second?
Which is why, again, enjoy your youth while you can.
Oh, no.
This is pretty much the only time your body can fight off anything and you'll be alright.
Cells at Work, the anime that causes internal crises.
Internal crises, I know, man. That's why when I saw that episode, I was like, damn. That's why I've been going to the gym now.
Yeah, this is what's happening. This is why I gotta get back in shape. I gotta stop being so pudgy. But yeah, this episode, not only was it my favorite episode, but it did get me mad. I'm like, okay, I get what you're telling me. I get what the show's telling me. But still, it is one of the most terrible diseases anyone can fucking get. One of the most terrible instances anyone can fucking get in their body, and you want me to feel bad for it. Look at this thing. Even the creator knows it's terrifying. This thing was this thing was like, it was a goal if it was also had a baby with a parasite that it just started sticking onto everything and growing and growing. But yeah, it's funny too, because the ending, they even give it like a noble death.
I know, when the white blood cell has the honor of killing it.
Yeah. but it's all like, you're the only one that I will allow to kill me. I'm like, oh, so we're going for the Ronin ending, alright?
And then, if anything as well, the thing that I also liked about this episode is like, again, I didn't even know our bodies had like these different types of cells. Like when we discovered the NK cell,
Yeah.
you know how like when they were in the middle of fighting and like when the T cell got sprayed by the B cell,
Yeah.
he just started laughing.
Yeah.
I was so confused as to why that powered her up. It's like, okay, I'm confused now. What kind of bullshit is this? Until it explained, it's like, okay, like in instances, it's like the reason why happier people tend to be more healthier than like people who are constantly sad or stressed. I'm like, oh, go on. Is that whenever you're happy, your body tends to it's not under stress, so it's like not consuming resources at a faster rate than usual.
Oh.
But B, when you're happier and more relaxed and everything. And this is where the scientific part got to me, and I was like, damn, there's a lot more that goes into happiness than I thought.
Right.
But whenever you're happier and everything, your body releases like these compounds called, I even remembered it, polypeptides.
Yeah.
That pretty much help your cells when it comes to like keeping like genetic mutations or mistakes at an all-time low. It slows down the aging process because you're not like pushing your cells to their limits as well. And then for your immune system, and for your immune system specifically, it gives them a chance to kind of like rest and kind of like be more alert for like another infection.
Right.
And this is where my psychology major comes in, because I can tie all of this in one throw.
Yay! It is one of the many segments I wanted to have on this show. Psychology and anime.
Psychology and anime. Because whenever you're in psychology, I learned this a lot, which is why, again, this is why I laugh more than I cry. You just see me break down.
Right. It's like, this is right. I'm so happy. Oh!
You didn't deserve to be cancer. This world just made him cancer.
It's your fault you stopped pointing at the human body. It's your fault for making him like this. This show. But yeah,
going back to it. So the reason why like you're more healthier when you're happy than when you're stressed is because when you're stressed, your body thinks that you're actually like fighting an infection, or like you're just like you're under danger.
Yeah.
So your body's constantly using resources and everything to like try to calm you down or like keep you in a stable state. And eventually, if you're stressed for too long, or like you don't like take a break from it, that'll eventually tire out your body and your immune system. which is again, which is what makes cells that work black so terrifying. When you do that for a prolonged period of time, it makes you more susceptible to infections and everything, and other things can go wrong with your body. Like, you know, your hair starts to fall off.
Oh no.
You wrinkle faster because, you know, you're constantly like you're constantly stressed, and more importantly, it just leads you to do bad decisions like drinking and smoking.
Yep, which you're letting in other terrible shit in your body.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when Osmosis Jones, well, Ozzy and Jix, because this is the TV show, where they had the episode where the main character smoked, the human host smoked, and then you had like nicotine get in there, and like a type of oxygen get in there, and then like tar get in there, and it was just like, oh, okay, so this is them telling us not to smoke, but Cells at Work hasn't had an episode like that yet, huh?
Only Cells at Work Black was the only one that had it in the manga.
Oh, so they had like, oh, he shot up heroin, so now terrible heroin diseases are here.
Well, yeah, and then the thing about smoking again, which is why I'll never get nearby it, no matter what people tell me.
Yep.
The way they depicted it was like, Jesus Christ, this is hell. I was like, holy shit.
But smoking. So I saw this in Sid's video. What was the thing that caused the blood cells to turn all infected?
Oh, that was the nicotine.
Oh.
So the reason why it does that is because nicotine, apart from it being an addictive substance, it also binds to red blood cells, because you know how red blood cells have the hemoglobin, where the reason why it's able to carry oxygen is because the iron is what binds the oxygen to it. Because iron and oxygen kind of go together. That's what makes rust.
Yeah. Oh.
But when it comes to smoking, nicotine prevents itself from binding with oxygen, because the nicotine binds with the iron instead, with the hemoglobin instead of oxygen. So it makes the cell, it pretty much deprives the cell of oxygen, so you kind of asphyxiate it and ends up just dying off and everything. That's why in the manga, when you saw them like going through the nicotine gauntlet and everything, you just see them choking. They're like, oxygen.
Oh my god.
I was like, holy shit.
I don't want to read that now. well, this show again. There's enough comedy in here to kind of loosen you up, but they are not afraid to have darker episodes. Like again, I'm really sad I wasn't able to finish it in time, but like what was it? The
hemorrhage.
Yeah.
Hemorrhagic shock.
Yeah. The hemorrhage episode. That one was just like. They go to a certain part of the body, but there was no blood in there because it was like a popped blood vessel. So it's like, oh god, hundreds.
You just see like all the discarded hats and gloves.
Yeah, all the smashed like oxygen boxes, and they're like, yeah, it was like hundreds and thousands of them all screaming, and I'm like, oh my god. And then everything's gonna get cold, and this is the end of this world. I'm like, oh no, I don't like this. But yeah, anyway, what else do you want to point out?
And then again, going back to the reason why I went to talk about stress and happiness. So yeah, like the happiness, like the reason why I powered up the NK cell of anything is because like those polypeptides that I mentioned that get released when you're happy, those also help the immune system as well, because it kind of gives them like, you know, an extra, like a second wind. Think of it as like a second wind, or like an extra energy boost to like keep fighting back the infection.
Yeah.
So that's why she got stronger and was able to beat the cancer cell.
Oh. That does make sense. I actually kind of forgot that she did get an energy boost like that.
Which you know why?
What?
You know what? This is where the creativity comes in. It makes sense that she was the one that was laughing and why she got that boost. And I was like, okay, I don't know why she just laughed and got that boost. I'm totally lost now.
Right.
Because I was thinking, when she laughed and everything, I was like, okay, is this just plot now? She just like happier now, like just now she can fight? And I was like thinking like, oh, it's just plot convenience. Like, okay, this is kind of getting a little too outlandish. Until they explained why the laugh helped, and I was like, oh, it's not the cell laughing, but it's supposed to represent what laughter does for the cell.
Yeah.
I was like, ah.
Yeah, I was just thinking that was like them making the already waifu character even more waifu by like giving them the smile that a lot of these tomboy waifu characters kind of need every now and then. We will learn that when we eventually get to Ushio and Tora, because they actually had to do that with one of the characters.
I still have to watch that show.
I know, I'm scared to make it a choice because it is like...
It's a long-ass episode.
It's a long show, yeah. I think there's like 36 or 39 episodes.
And especially with this winter coming in.
Oh, so much good stuff. But yeah, what is another episode that you want to bring up?
I can't think of anything on the spot right now. Is there one more you want to think about as well that you liked a lot?
Well, let's see. I know I had a couple. I have a Dayforce. That's probably nothing too big. I'll look at it later. Let's see. I know I had one I wanted to talk about.
What was one that touched your heart?
It wasn't blood circulation. It was. Oh, I think it was right. It was just because it was a funny episode. It was the thymocyte, where it's the T cells in training.
Oh yeah.
And it goes into like the killer T cell. Yeah, that one I really like because this one it's giving an origin of the killer T cell and the helper T cell when they're like in military school, essentially military school, where yeah they push them hard. They have like flunk outs. They like kick people out and stuff. But
it was pretty clever how they explained like that mechanism as well.
yeah, it also like plot wise, it was the classic story of you have one person who's flawless, but another person who's like kind of wimpy but has enough heart that he's surviving.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one I liked the most because not only was it humanizing a character I wasn't enjoying, especially when they had that episode where the killer T cell punches white blood cell.
Yeah.
Saying we can't be friends with them because he knows there are some diseases that will come and turn them against us and we will have to kill them.
Yeah.
Which, we saw in what was it again? The episode we talked about?
The influenza.
Yeah, the influenza episode, they saw that they did have to kill those cells. And then we know that nicotine would turn the blood cells into monsters, so they would have to go up against that too.
Oh my god. Don't get me started with Salsa Work Black. How much just like bringing up bad memories that I can bring up the T cell. There's this one chapter that made me depressed, but we'll save it for like the end discussion.
Yeah. So but this episode made me laugh because they have like the final training assignment where they're like, okay, in this one you have to learn the difference between what is an influenza and what's an infected cell and which one's like a good cell.
Yeah.
But they made it really hard by spraying the field with like gas.
Yeah.
So you have one cell that's just like, okay, this one, wrong, that was just a cell holding nutrients. You fail, and they like press a trapdoor button. But like one that made me laugh was another one where they punch a cell and it's like, wait, that's not an influenza, it's just wearing a fancy hat.
Yeah, because like that's one of the ways you can tell. That's one of the ways you can tell from like again with the influenza episode, like which are the infected ones when you see the little virus on the little virus pincushion on their heads.
Yeah, and since they're doing a really good job at like keeping the people in training like on their toes, that means when they see any cell, they're already on edge, so they're gonna hit it out of instinct. So it's them teaching them you have to learn how to fight under pressure. and
it's a pretty cool episode as well, because once you see the explanations and everything how that mechanism works, like this actually does happen in our bodies.
So is it possible for a killer T cell to just go crazy and start killing other cells? Is that what they were trying to avoid?
Yeah, and then a little bit of a spoiler, but there's a chapter about that in Salsa Work Black, and let me just say, it explains balding a lot.
Oh.
But yeah, the little academy thing that they're doing where they're being developed and everything, the reason why the body does that, again, like you're saying, Danny, it's to pretty much make sure that that the cytotoxic cells or the T cells. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, Dr. Hope's taking over my mind. I'm starting to call them by their scientific name.
By the end of this episode, he better sponsor us with all the plugging we're doing for him.
He has me whipped.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the thing about it is that this is the body's way of pretty much making sure that it trains an immune system that won't attack its own body. Because a lot of these T cells, and then this is pretty much true. This is why when it's a naive cell and everything, it's like it's pretty much like a little bit like not efficient or like not deadly until it gets activated.
Yeah.
But the reason why they need to make sure those T cells mature is because so it can make sure like okay, it doesn't attack a healthy cell. It's not gonna go like rogue and like start causing problems for the body as well. And more importantly, it's gonna do its job correctly.
Yeah.
Because the way the immune system works here. And then, oh my god, here we go again with Dr. Hope!
Yeah.
But the way the immune system works is that it kind of comes in waves, if anything. So like whenever your first line of defense is pretty much making sure that virus whatever infection doesn't get in your body at all. So first line of defense is like your skin, mucus, anything to prevent the infection. But if that fails, your second line of defense is pretty much your white blood cells and your B cells. So those are going to be the ones that produce that try to signal to the body like, hey, there's something wrong here. You should probably check it out. And they're the ones who are going to be fighting the initial infection. Right. Now, if the infection gets worse beyond that, the white blood cells get overwhelmed, or they're not the infection's too much to the point where they're not able to keep up at it. That's when your last line of defense comes in as well, which are the cytotoxic T cells and then those other cells that are deadly.
Yeah.
Now the scary thing about that is that usually doesn't happen within these things. These things actually happen within hours or days. So when it comes to an infection, T cells don't usually show up until I think it was the second or third day of an infection. Which is
that's why in the beginning of the show they kept showing up late.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because they're the last line. They're not supposed to be called upon on this hey, this is taking too long. We probably need to take this seriously. Which is what makes HIV a very deadly virus.
It's because the T cells don't get there fast enough before it plants.
Yeah, you know what? This is already going educational. I'll just talk about this right now with the virus again.
Yeah.
So HIV being a virus and everything. This is why again, practice safe sex, guys. If not, if you didn't think about safe sex now, this is probably gonna change your mind about it. But the way HIV works is once you get an infection with it, it doesn't infect you right off the bat. It goes dormant.
Yeah.
So it pretty much goes inside of a host cell and then it stays dormant until it is able to attack your immune system directly. So the way it works is that the HIV virus pretty much waits until it gets into your where T cells are produced, or most of your immune system goes, and it cripples it from the beginning. So when the infection outbreaks and everything, your body thinks oh, okay, we still have the red white blood cells to go after it. But once those aren't able to keep up with it, it's where are the T cells? What happened to them? The HIV already took out the T cells.
Oh god.
Which is what makes it rampant and hard to cure, is that there's nothing left to defend it. Your last line of defense is gone.
I mean, it sucks they can't do an episode on that without just ending the series all flat out. But that will really help you get how old the body in the anime is if they ever do get an HIV. But yeah, it sucks that we maybe in Cells at Work Black, that will be the end game. It's HIV, and it's just the ending of Evangelion, but with the cells.
No, yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much how the virus works. It's just a Trojan horse. It just waits until it takes up the military, and then you're just left with the police and skin.
That's terrifying, man. Yeah, this show, I do not care how fucking cute you are, show, but you are a lot scarier when you dive into the textbooks.
And then this is why, again, respect your immune system. Drink plenty of water, folks, or else those platelets will dry up.
Yep, and then eat healthy, says the guy who's 222 pounds of 20. Huh?
You don't even look to 20.
I don't, because I'm wearing puffy shirts, but yeah, apparently I am 220, 222. They're just just drop 20 pounds and you'll be okay.
Ah, okay.
So I got a new 2019 will be a new Danny. But yeah, I have you thought of another episode?
I think if anything, once you mentioned that one, this is probably the last one I'm gonna talk about, but this is the one that I found really cute. Was when it was the bone marrow episode. Where white blood cells and red blood cells are created.
Oh yeah, that one was actually terrifying because, again, if this was Cells at Work Black, I think there would have been no holding back in a particular scene in the show. But since this is the more comedic version, they just had to play it off mildly terrifying.
Yeah.
But yeah, go.
So for me, the reason why I found that episode pretty cute and everything is because it talks about the origins of our red and white blood cells.
Yeah.
More importantly, you get to see them as kids.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the first white blood and red blood cell you see.
Yes, the ones that are on all the promotional art and stuff. You just want to pinch your goddamn cheeks.
Mm-hmm. And then again, so many revelations with this episode because I always thought I always wonder how those cells were ever created. So in that episode, when you see them running around, it's especially the red blood cell, you notice they're wearing their signature hat.
Mm-hmm.
However, they have this little white puff, kind of like your beanie.
Yeah.
That they have on there. And I was wondering, I wonder why it's that. And they explain that shows that's pretty much to signify that it's a developing cell. it isn't until it actually gets turned into fully mature red blood cell that it actually loses that little bulge and it develops that little divot that most of the red cells get.
Yeah, and then in the show they treat it more like a graduation ceremony. Like it doesn't just like fall out. The cell taking care of it has to yank it out of the head.
And then I really liked how they explain macrophages and everything are usually there to tend to the red blood cells just to make sure they know what type of duties to do and everything.
Yep, which are why the macrophages are very motherly looking.
Victorian era.
Yeah, very Victorian mother looking cells. Which it makes it even more funnier when in another episode you just see that the giant signature weapons are like blunt weaponry and meat cleavers. Okay, ladies, let's clean this up. Okay. You just hear like horrible splashing noises.
And it's funny because it's funny that they're maids because macrophages in reality they are pretty much the janitors of the body. So their job is literally just to eat whatever junk or bacteria is left over.
Yep. Yeah, this guy again, the guy who's creating the show is really brimming with originality and creativity. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
When it really comes to creating the world in a show. But what were you going on to?
So yeah, and then again, I'm glad you brought up the creativity actually, because this actually made me I actually found the word I was thinking of to describe this episode. The creativity again to just show how these cells go through these processes of graduating, figuring out how to do their roles, and more importantly transitioning from their infant, I forgot what they were called when they're still young, when they're still cells before the red blood cell.
Adolescent?
No, I'm talking about the name they gave for them specifically.
Oh, I don't remember that either.
Dr. Hope even spoke about this, but I don't remember. It was so much information.
You're letting him down by not quoting him properly.
Dude, it was so much information. I'm like, damn, I'm so glad I was not a med student. I would have been too overwhelmed. I would not be into anime as much as I would be right now.
No, and then you'd only watch this because maybe your cool teacher or someone in your class brought it onto your teacher.
Dr. Hope would have probably brought it onto my attention.
Yeah.
Because I just saw that guy and I was like, ooh, he's, because he does do a lot of reviews for a lot of popular shows that do go into the medical field, and then he explains to them oh yeah, we do this in real life. Nah, this is dramatized. You'd never do that in an actual clinic or something.
Oh, so this is the first time he did a show
this is the first time he did an anime, yeah.
Oh, okay. But so what else? Oh yeah, and it is really cute in the show how they show you them training the blood cells. How it's they have to walk around with these fake little oxygen tanks and learn politeness, which is why the main blood cell is so polite.
Mm-hmm.
And
more importantly, just what to do in the case of if there's an invader or something.
Yeah.
When there was the white blood cell that were teaching them fear. It's today's special guest will be the neutrophil from the training camp. Hey, so today I'll teach you about germs. Run for your lives, kids, if you want to live. He just starts carrying them away.
Yeah, run! Oh, it's got me now. And then because red blood cell is just an adorable little dunce, she ends up running way out of the training field and gets lost in her own home and into an area where an actual invader broke in.
Yeah.
Which, first of all, is fucking terrifying because there are children running around in here.
I know. And then that's one of the scary things as well. It's again, I'm gonna keep saying this no matter what. Take care of your bodies.
Yes.
If not, watch the show and then you'll see why.
Yeah, and again, if this was still Network Black, we probably would have seen that poor little girl get torn into pieces. But this one, they treated the invader more like a bully than an actual dangerous creature, because all it was doing was just slapping her in the face, pulling her, keeping her from running.
Yeah.
Basically just acting like a bully and not really any real danger. Mm-hmm. But it is really uncomfortable because it goes on for 3 minutes. No, actually even more, because then she gets rescued.
She gets rescued by the young white blood cell.
Yeah.
But at this point it's not even lethal enough to kill it yet.
I know, he has a little wooden knife. It was so cute.
Oh my god! And again, I love that allegory where it's I get it. Why? It's because he's not deadly yet.
Yeah. And again, you have that anime moment where it's like, I'm gonna kill all of them and protect everyone. And like, of course, he goes in, but he can't because he's not fully developed yet. And then it isn't until like,
An actual white blood cell shows up.
yeah, and kills it. And then it basically opens the question whether red blood cell, the white blood cell that saved her that day, was the one that she's friends with now.
Yeah.
Which,
It is. Oh man, but yeah, that was a pretty. Now for me, I really like that episode a lot because again, it shows you a little bit more of things you normally don't think about unless you're a med student, a pre-med student.
yep. I actually kind of just want to go to like the pre-med department in our school in GCC and just like slap on a poster for that somewhere and just be like, look at this, you medical students.
Go to the nursing department. That would be good for.
There we go.
God damn it! That would have been. Oh, I should have done that when I was working as in student outreach. I could have just gone to the nursing department and be like, "Hey, you want to check this out you want to check this out for whenever we could bring like the elementary schoolers here."
Yep. Even though the show might still be a little too intense for kids because it is bloody.
No, that's why I was like, I just gonna just like maybe just go for like something not bloody.
Yeah, like what is it? Another episode I like is the heat stroke episode, where like the whole ending for that is white blood cell finally gets the upper hand on the invader in that episode, and they're like, oh look, there's white blood cell, but let's not bother him right now. And then you just see blood splattering everywhere and just him yelling, die, die, die.
I know. Oh my god! But, I love the series. By the way, we probably need to watch the last episode to get some closure on the hemorrhage shock.
Yeah, no, I'm finishing it once I get home. I think I'm just gonna go home after this. I'm not sure. But no, I should save money. I've been watching Spider-Man a lot.
Dude, I got to see that movie too, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Really? Did you like it?
Yeah.
Good. I saw that movie 3 times already. I have a problem.
Oh my god, I think the thing that got to me in that movie was Penny's introduction. I was like,
Right.
oh my god, it's so cringy, but I can understand why they made it like
That
that.
made me so mad because, like, are we done with the show?
I believe so, because like we just gotta go into final thoughts after this.
Oh, okay. Then let's save it because I could go on for that movie. We'll go on after final thoughts.
Okay.
So because I'm glad I'm with an avid anime fan because I actually want to know your thoughts on that. But final thoughts on this show. Oh wait, I forgot the most important thing. Go. I gotta set up the usual thing.
So pretty much for final thoughts for me for the show. Holy Christ! Anything that has to do with science, or just like anything, especially that's more relatable to me, if anything, when it comes to like that aspect as well. Which is why whenever I watch like these medical shows or anything like that, I'm like, damn. Let's do the earache version.
No. Like forget. Oh my gosh.
Episode 6 got released.
Of what?
Dr. Hope signaled. Here I am talking how he hasn't released it today.
Wow.
It's a Friday miracle.
27 minutes ago, a little after we had started. Wait, but if it's ear rape, how are they supposed to hear you? It needs to be low enough to hear you.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, there's a platelet on this one. Okay.
Yeah, no, there's a platelet on both of them.
No, I meant the backdrop for it.
Oh. Oh no, yeah, there's another one where it's just footage of the platelets.
Oh. Oh my god.
You're gonna go to jail looking at that photo.
Oh my god. But yeah, going into the show and everything, anything that has to do with sciences, especially if it's relatable to everyday life,
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for it. And going into Cells at Work, I came with it with already high expectations. And this is one of those rare instances where my high expectations were actually more than met and actually exceeded when it came to this show.
Yeah.
Because thinking about the show, like I went in and think like, oh man, I can't wait to see like, what kind of antics I'll be going. Like I was expecting something I was kind of expecting something a little bit better than Osmosis Jones, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Because I saw how they were like trying to like humanize them and everything. I'm like, oh, okay, this is gonna be a little interesting because, after seeing Osmosis Jones and stuff like that, so I was like, I wonder how they're gonna approach this now with anime characters.
Yeah. And these are these are actually human-looking characters and not like, oh look, the white blood cell looks like a white blood cell if it was shaped like a human. Though.
Yeah. And then the cool thing about seeing this everything is, it was like everything was presented to a point where, like, you know, in a way where, like, we can kind of understand it as humans. Is like, they're like, okay, so this is what cells see as nutrients as, you know, like the basket full of bread and sandwiches, the oxygen being the gas tanks and everything in the carton boxes.
Yeah.
The glucose being like tea or ice cream or something that they can eat. And then everything that they do over there as well, like, just the way this guy explained it and everything, and I'm pretty sure, now that I'm talking about it, I'm pretty sure the authors are pre-med nature or something like that now.
Oh, it's had to. He had to have been. Unless he had, like, a wife or someone who's just, like, giving him all this information, but it's too well done with a fine-tooth comb.
And then, especially the creativity, the way he blended all these aspects together, because all of the things that they explained and everything, whether it was like what the cells used to like kill a virus, or how they handled an infection, or why the NK left and then got that power up, I felt it was all creative. Because at first I didn't get it. It wasn't until they explained why that was happening that I was like, oh, so that's why when she got that whenever he stabs it, like that's supposed to explain this process.
Yeah.
Especially during the pollen episode, when in order for the white blood cell to tell what was going on, he just like took a bite from the cedar pollen.
Right.
He's like, we won't know until I phagocytosis. And it just took a chunk out of it.
What was the... Oh, I think it was the first part of the hemorrhage episode, but that one you also see him just like biting down on the bacteria in that episode. Yeah, there was a lot of it. Well, it was something he had to do, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much what they do. And then, you know, just all of these things like that they did for the show, it kind of made it a little bit, not only like, you know, easier to understand, but also like more exciting if anything. Because especially when it comes to like the sciences and everything, if you're just a person that doesn't buy the books, like you're not gonna get that many people to listen to you. Yeah. It takes a lot of like, you know, passion, but also creativity to get a lot of people to get more and more interested into these things as well. For me, Hataraku Saibo, cells at work. Yeah, my weeb's starting to come back out again. It's trying to balance out the Dr. Hope in me.
Yeah, Joey the anime man side is coming out where I'm just like, I stopped watching his recommendation videos because I can never spell the names that he says because he doesn't translate them. So he'll say the Japanese name, but he won't say what it translates to in English, so I can never find it. And I'm like, I don't know how to spell that.
No, yeah, but for me, cells at work, I can definitely see a lot of like just how much work and especially research went into the show and everything, because all of the things that was being explained there.
Yeah.
All of the processes, everything was based on was scientifically grounded, and it was pretty much accurate to the point.
Yeah.
Especially with the basophils, you know, the mysterious ones where you don't know what exactly their purpose are.
Yeah. They just know they're there.
They're there. For me, I think that was one of the characters that really like from the numerous ones that they showed up. He was one of my favorite ones because, you know, he's mysterious, but it's just there. Yeah. You don't really see him like in action or anything because you don't know what he does exactly.
Yeah, but the creator thought it would be funny to include him, and it does because it's just like, oh, that's good. He made a character that's not doing anything with him, and then you look up this, and it's just like, yeah, not even science knows what this thing is for.
All we know is that it's involved in the immune response.
Yeah, it needs to be there, so, and we can get an easy joke out of it, so it's cool.
And the best part about it is that I was actually the best part is like, well, I think it always should be the best part for any show is that I actually learned from this show as well. Mm-hmm. Like not only the processes, not only did I just like, you know, think like, oh, that's interesting, but I actually committed to memory, and now I actually know this a little bit better now. Mm-hmm. So I'm able to explain things a little bit more thoroughly to people, which is why well, Dr. Hope's also there to help me as well, because when I watched his recaps of episodes, I'm like, hey, not coming from a professional, this is definitely legit.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's really cool how he's like, you and Ben were talking about it last time, literally the last show we did, saying how he really wants to just watch the show, but he's literally watching them as he's creating these episodes. So it is really cool how we have a flat-out scientist taking a look at something in the anime community and just like, this is fucking good.
I know. And then and more than anything as well, is like he's probably one of the more people that can appreciate even more of these things as well. Because again, given his like background and everything as that as well, I think he's a PhD already.
Yeah.
Because like he always talks about things like, oh, I remember doing this in like my during like my pre-med my major courses or like my beginning courses as well. Like I remember reading this in the textbooks or whenever we went this through like clinical trials.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang. It's like kind of like that level of like where you're able to like provide personal experiences. If anything, that makes it just that much more like memorable whenever you learn something. And then again, for me, I only have the basic bare knowledge only because of my CPR classes.
Yeah.
So so when I was watching this, I was like, damn, thank God I have a general idea of what they're talking about. I just didn't know these cells were called this.
Yeah. No, I didn't know a lot of these cells. I just knew like the super base names. Like I knew blood. I knew like red and
White blood cells?
Yeah, red and white blood cells. But I didn't know what the fuck the platelets were. I didn't know what seriously, like I used to be covered in scabs when I was little because I was destructive by those. And I'm like, oh, so that's what those are that are doing that. What else?
And then for me, like every episode, again, well, majority of the episodes I found relatable because like in one way or another I was like, oh, I remember when I got hit by that as well. I was like, oh yeah, I remember I always get covered in scabs and everything. Like, oh, I remember when I got dehydrated that one time in elementary. It's like it brought back so many memories to me. I was like thinking like, damn, that was happening in my body the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, in a sense, what was happening in my body.
Yeah.
Because again, like because like the thing about that Dr. Hope actually does, which is what I like, is he actually does provide actual footage of what it actually looks like when a cell does this in action.
Oh.
You actually get to see like what the actual thing looks like. And like the comments in the YouTube section says like, I didn't know Dr. Hope was already planning a live action for this series. I was like,
that is true. Live action cells at work, and it's just actual cell footage.
Dude, that got me laughing.
So what else?
And I think that's pretty much for me. That's it. Just just how relatable the science, and then that it's actually accurate.
You could really tell that this was Lewis's favorite show because he went on for over 10 minutes. I will probably not be able to match that, but that does not mean I didn't love the show less than him. It just means he said almost everything I was going to say. So if there's one thing I do want to point out is, yes, the show is wonderful. David Production is really kind of showing that they're kind of the new Shaft. Whenever they make a new animation, it's always a fun show. It's something fun that is very quotable, and I think they're in on it now. Very easy to meme. I think they did like a serious drama like 2 years ago, and that one people are just memeing the fuck out of it. But who is it? Oh no. But yeah, it's like I really love David Production's style, and again, I am fairly certain that this is them like. So we have a bunch of people who are recording JoJo in the other room. Let's have them play the bacteria in this show, and you get some really entertaining and cheesy performances. I love the episode with I love the heat stroke episode because I love the bacteria in that episode. Oh. How it just kept like fucking with them because it's just like, oh, you guys are slowing down, but I'm thriving in here. Whee! I'm like, oh my god. And but yeah, I really do like how everything in here has a personality. I love that since the platelets are like they're little worker bees instead of them just being construction men, they're like little lollies, and it's hilarious. Well, lollies and shotas, I could have sworn I saw.
Yeah, there's shotas in there as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I love that, and I even love how since scabbing is a very fast but thorough process, they do show how much work goes into creating the little scab layer. And I even like how they're like, so now that the platelets have created the little
mesh?
Yeah, created the mesh, now it's time for all the blood to get stuck in there, and that's how the scabbing process begins. Yeah, I really loved that. And I think if there's one thing I wanted to, since you did cover a lot, and I don't want to sound like I'm repeating myself, I will say that Dr. Hope is easily the best example of why this show exists. This is a guy who he didn't have an anime background before this, right?
No, he only pretty much talked about like a lot of medical dramas like House and everything. What was the other one? The Good Doctor and everything like that as well.
So he's never. So it's pretty much safe to say that he hasn't seen any other anime before this. Like,
not really, because like when he first got into it, it's like he wasn't familiar with all the concepts that they go through like in anime and everything. Like it wasn't like when like you know how like the playmate always calls her like Red Blood Solo Nechan?
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's so nice. He's calling her big sister because they're related from the same. They're related from the same
and
cells.
I'm like, no, that's a fetish. It's sort of a fetish.
Yeah, because like he thought like, and then I was thinking, he was like, you know what? You do have a point though, because they are pretty much relatives. You get some red blood cells. I was like, huh, you got a point.
Yeah, but but it actually has something to do with a fetish, Dr. Hope.
Fetish, and then more than likely, like that's usually what lolly characters usually call like older girls as well.
Yeah, like remember the whole joke in My Mental Choices, there was a little girl that called everyone that, and they're like, oh, what a pervert! He's making him call him Big Brother. But. He is the prime example of like why this show should exist. Like if you're into this, you're going to be really impressed how much detail's going in there, how faithful they're being. They're not making anything up, and even if you see something kind of outlandish, like, oh look, a cell is fusing with other cells to become a giant monster, yeah, that's because that's actually what happens. Like, it's not messing around, this show, and I love it for that. And I love the fact that we have Dr. Hope, who is serving a prime example of somebody who probably has never seen an anime or not a lot of anime, and just been like, wow, this is really good for this reason, and because it is a show that is touching me in all the right places.
Yeah, and then like he says it in like in his first episode as well, when he did the first episode of Cells at Work, he's like I'm not too well versed in anime, like I'm familiar with the concepts, so please forgive me if I don't get any of the references they make to like culture or anything. However, I will do my best to do it for my analysis and everything.
Yeah.
And then he's got the voice of English tea.
The voice of English tea, is that what you said?
His voice is like English tea. It's just so proper.
So yeah, again, I love this show. Everything Lewis said is what I also believe. So that's why I decided to mostly talk about the guy he's been talking about for the last hour and a half, maybe, because I just don't want to repeat Lewis. But yeah, I love this show. I'm glad you chose this, and I am going to finish this as soon as I get home, because I think it was the same thing with Asobi Asobase. No, it was the same thing with Daily Lives of High School Boys, where I wasn't able to finish the show, but I loved it so much that I had to make sure I finished it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really happy that we saw this show. Hell, I'm happy that we're back after like a 2-month hiatus. Still not as long as Attack on Titan.
I know.
But yeah, I guess before we close it out, I will say, after thinking about it, I think the next episode will be SSS Gridman. It's only 12, 13 episodes, I think.
Okay, that shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, I could have sworn I heard it was going to be 24, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I gotta do. Yeah, I already feel like you're closing off, and then they're like, final episode. I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know why I heard the 24 episode thing. Even though there's this thing that Sugar fans have like this high, expectancy where they expect every Sugar show to be like a 2-core anime.
Mm-hmm. I know what you mean. Well, I mean, we got look at some of the good examples like Kill la Kill and everything like that.
Oh yeah, Kill la Kill, Darling in the Franxx. What else? What else did they animate?
I'm trying to remember.
Oh my god, I just realized the next Sugar project they have now is Promare, which is created by the creators of Gurren Lagann and Kill la Kill. I really hope that's next year, not like next year. No, this year, not next year.
Next year, not next year.
next year. But yeah, it will be SSS Gridman. It's actually one of the few shows of fall that I was actually following all the way through, which is saying something because this came out the same season as Thunderbolt Fantasy, and I still have not finished that season.
It's because of Akane, isn't it?
Wait, which one's the one? Oh,
Rika's
it's
the one with the
Akane. Akane is the best girl for me.
The kaiju waifu.
Yeah, because the one that just destroyed that show. not in a bad way. I love that character, but it's just like, wow, this is a great kaiju show. There's kaiju in it? I was just looking at those thighs. Yeah, thighs. Yeah, and I'm just like, guys, you do realize Akane has both, right? She has the thighs and the boobies.
The plots. And then, dude, the thing about Akane is like, damn, where can I get glasses like hers? Dude, her glasses are so stylish.
They sell them. I think you can buy them off cosplay websites.
No, but I mean like actual prescription ones that I can use because I love that design. I'm like, damn, because like you know I have cheeky eyes, so like I don't like using like large glasses or anything. So I like using like these slim ones.
Oh, so you want the stylish ones that are also prescription?
Yeah.
Can you go online and get those? Like on their websites that can do that?
Well, yeah, but they don't have like that particular design.
Oh.
It's just like like you just have like okay, like what frame do you want and then like the lens has to be custom.
Ah, it's too bad there's no.
So if I wanted to get the only problem with glasses like that is how like there's not that much of a frame.
Mm-hmm.
It can be a little problematic for mine because I use a thick ass lens, so I would need to use a frame that has good support.
Yeah, that's true. I had wire glasses and the friggin' like one of them needed to be prescription and that one was super thick. Like it kept falling out of the frame, so they had to get those type of glasses. But yeah, so that's what's gonna be next week. Thankfully, I might not need to watch all of it. I'll probably watch it again just for fun. But yeah, so that'll be for next week, and let's hope that nothing unexpected shows up on my end. Or your end too.
Yeah.
But yeah, usually when something unexpected happens to you, it's something important, and then mine's is like, yeah, Rick decided to flip my schedule at the last minute. Bastards! But yeah, so real quick, yeah, the whole thing with Penny and Spider-Verse, she's not like that in the comics, and she's a little bit more subtly pointed at anime, and this one's just like, let's turn it into a magical girl. I'm like, wait, what?
Dude, the fucking little like sequence when Ninja was like, hi, it's like, hajimemashite, dozo yoroshiku. Penny desu. I was like, oh god.
I was like, okay, I get it.
And the funny thing is like you can already tell like all the who are like the anime fans because you can just hear everybody like, oh god, and just like kind of awkwardly chuckle.
Yeah, well, there are two already. There are the people who don't like her because they're like, seriously, that's like an anime character from the 80s. They don't exist anymore. And then the cosplay people are already doing their thing with it, and I do not like it because that character's like 12, I think.
Mm-hmm. No, I think the one I hear most is the Rule 34 people like Shadman.
Yeah.
Shadman, no! Shadman, yes. Oh, we're beeping.
Who is that?
Next door.
Oh, okay. Oh, here you go.
Oh god.
Penny Parker. And the video's called Ravioli, Ravioli, Don't Loop the
Spider Lolly. Oh god! Oh god!
Yeah. Some of them are actually cute, but it's like, oh.
Oh shit, what was with that symbiote?
I don't know.
Oh god! Oh god, oh, I see some Ava. Okay. I don't know if I like this or not.
Yeah.
I don't think. No.
Oh god. Yeah. And now here's the best part.
Oh, I love that SWAT scene. Just.
Yep. Yeah, so there have been people already like, she's hot, and I'm like, she's 12, probably 14. I don't know how that character's supposed to be, but no, please. And my whole thing is like in the comic, the design for the mecha is way cooler. The design for the mecha is basically an Ava.
Yeah.
That's red. And she has a way cooler backstory that's not in this movie. Or at least it's left out. But yeah, I was like, I get why you wanted to make the character the way it was, but you treated all the other characters with respect, and this one you're just like, I feel like you're mocking me a little bit.
Dude, I just couldn't help it. I couldn't. I had to cringe on that one. I was like, oh my god, but it's so true though.
I know. And then there was. I did think some of the facial expressions are really cute though. Like again, when the fight breaks out in the house and she like activates Mecha, or at least jumps inside Mecha. It's like a full-on magical girl sequence.
Yeah.
But you see her eyes are like flat out, like the white angry eyes, and the teeth are all sharp and jagged. Like they had cute little moments like that. But I'm just like, thank God you're brilliant in this movie. I needed more Spider-Ham.
Spider-Ham and Spider-Noir.
Spider-Noir.
Dude, Nicolas Cage did an amazing job with it.
He was too perfect in there. Where's the wind coming from? We're indoors. The wind goes wherever I go, and it smells like rain. Yeah, dude, I love that movie. There's a reason why I saw it like 3 times. I have a serious problem. But I'm just like, okay, it'll come out on Blu-ray soon. Don't.
But no spoilers. But after credit scene was the cherry on top.
Was that an actual meme?
Yes, that's an actual meme.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's one of them.
I got all excited because I'm like, oh my god, they're showing my favorite Spider-Man, and then I'm like, wait, oh no, it's a
1967.
meme. Yeah, I was just like, no, it's a meme.
And it's funny because like even in the credit end credit sequence, you actually see some of the memes as well. The one that stood to me the most is the one where you see him like on the desk and you just see a portrait of Spider-Man on the back.
Yeah.
That's the one that I saw and I was like, ah.
Oh my god.
The madman.
All of that. Yep. One of the best Spider-Man, in my opinion, the best Spider-Man movie ever made, and Marvel should be very scared. Because I love Homecoming, but I'm just like,
I know, I liked Homecoming too, but then Into the Spider-Verse came like, nah, that knocked it out of my top list now.
yeah, and I'm like, remember, this is the same company that made the Emoji Movie and Venom. How did they do that? How did they make a movie this good?
Oh, well, we know we're not going to be seeing anything else from other studios because, Sony's patenting the rights to the animations.
I know, dude. I want so bad. I want a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie in that exact same art style.
Because the style they did it, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like they did 3D characters, but like everything like facial expressions and like details and everything. Pretty much textures were drawn 2D on a 2D portrait.
Yeah. And with the line arts and the dots, so they are trying to patent the style, but there are other companies like we did a style similar to that. Anime actually does a style similar to that with you can look at an example with Batman Ninja.
Berserk, but horribly done.
I know. That's why when people are like, oh, the animation's so bad in this one, I'm like, the choppy animation in Spider-Man's intentional. Watch Berserk and then complain to me.
Yeah. No, yeah, Berserk was 2016. Berserk 2016.
Yeah.
Especially the one where Guts is walking.
Oh my god. And then somebody animated by, like, with how stiff his body is, how his feet would be walking, and then just jello legs moving without the kneecaps.
I remember somebody did this. I was like, hey, look, guys, I think I should try for the Berserk 2018 cast as well. We just see him crop out an image of Guts he found on Wikipedia, and then you just see him like joggle it back and forth with the mouse.
Oh my god. So. But yeah, guys. Anyway, it's good to be back. I'm glad that I'm reconnecting with you guys again because I don't want you guys thinking that I just do this so I can have co-hosts because somebody accused me of doing that and I'm like, no. Maybe. No.
He does it for the waifus.
I do it for the waifus. And I can't talk about anime by myself. What am I, Giguk? No, I don't have the voice for it. That dude can fucking make it. I mean, I know he can't because he edits all that, but he can make like a 20-hour video and I'll watch all of it. Like, my god, I still love like the closing 2018 anime he did, where he's like, then we had 2 hype-ass shit shows, Goblin Slayer and Darling in the Franxx, that showed up super well, super cool, and had 0 controversy at all. And it was his typical, like, him yelling over himself. Aliens, where the fuck did that come from? Oh god, well maybe Goblin Slayer will have some cool... Wait, what is that goblin doing to that woman? Ah!
Oh man, hey, I like Goblin Slayer though. And then, dude, oh my god, the ending was just too much of a tease. It's always like, we'll be back. I was like, wait, are they hinting they're gonna come back to this in season 2? Don't do this to me.
White Fox barely has season 2s though.
I know, that's what I'm telling you, like, don't do this to me. Don't tease me like that.
Yeah, fucking, I'm still waiting for Devil as a part-timer too, you son of a bitch.
That was a good show.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Crimes Against Humanity. That Devil's a Part-Timer doesn't have a season 2, and more importantly, Bloodlet doesn't have a season 2.
Bloodlet's already over. They need to at least make a movie rushing it. I'd be okay with a rushed movie. I just want to see the final scenes of Bloodlet animated.
I know.
Like what they did with Real Life, where they cut out the filler chapters and just like animated the final few chapters with just 4 episodes.
4 OVAs, yeah.
I need to watch that, but again, that show just made me feel things that I did not want to feel.
That show was just a roller coaster of emotions, man.
I think that was your choice. I'm just like, this
Yeah.
is great, but son of a bitch, this is sad. It's so sad. But anyway, yes, so we'll be getting back into it. Hopefully you'll have enough time. What are you doing? Are you just working now?
I'm just, I have no work or school.
Oh.
I'm in need for this winter because no one wanted to hire me.
Damn. You should always try Goodwill.
I would.
Hmm.
But like again, I need to know exactly. I just need to know exactly like when to have a stable schedule. That's the only thing that like stopping me from there.
That is true, and sometimes they change the schedule on me like a motherfucker. Like again, that's what affected the schedule is like they completely took away my Saturdays, and I'm like, well, how the hell am I supposed to record with them now? And it's just like, oh man, it was like that for like a month, like over a month and a half. It was terrible, but yeah, it's like I don't know. It's surprising that you couldn't find something for the winter because of how crazy the holiday season is.
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah. Alright, well, I think that's the end of the show, and then stick for us next week for SSS Gridman.
Yeah.
There's 4
it's
S's.
4, I know. I think. Oh yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm Danny,
I'm the Squatcher.
and we will see you next time.